Welcome, everybody, to Baseball Night in America. National League Central Division Showdown, Game 3 of a 4-game weekend series between the division-leading Milwaukee Brewers and the struggling St. Louis Cardinals. Here's their starting lineup presented by Edward Jones. They're trying to get on track. Donovan Nootbaar, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado with Burleson, Herrera. Carpenter is back. Gorman and Wynn, the young shortstop, going up against Freddie Peralta of the Brewers, who is on the bump today for Milwaukee. Adam Amin, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, glad to be with you after you just got done watching some UFL. We got some baseball on this Saturday night for you. And Freddie Peralta deals to Brendan Donovan. First pitch swinging, skied to center. Blake Perkins is there. One pitch, one out. As we rush you into the broadcast, now we can take a breath and settle in and take a look at Freddie Peralta, who's back after the 5-game suspension.
Yeah, well, he's got some nasty stuff. You see the record and the numbers on the year. His ability to throw strikes early might be a little bit. He can upgrade that, but he's facing a team that is desperately trying to get on track. They have struggled in every offensive category, and he's hoping to keep it that way for Milwaukee.
Lars Nootbaar climbs in and takes ball one. Brewers winning the first 2 games of this series 7-1 on Thursday, 11-2 last night. They have won 7 straight against St. Louis. Going back to last year, in fact, have won 10 of their last 11 meetings against the divisional foe Cardinals. Their first-year manager, Pat Murphy. Nootbaar pops it up. Shallow right, the second baseman Turang and the first baseman Hoskins are there. It is Hoskins with the grab, and this has been the story between these two teams going back to last year.
Yeah, and it's really kind of head scratching, right? Glass half full, half empty. If you're a Cardinals fan right now, you feel like it's half empty, but it's got to get better, mainly because the guy that's at the plate right now is in one of the worst slumps of his career. 0 for his last 28. The star power of St. Louis has to get going, and they'll start scoring runs. But Milwaukee is doing all the things you have to do to put pressure on teams that are supposed to win, and they have had the better hand of the matchup.
Goldschmidt fouls one back. You saw the numbers. Meyer in the worst stretch of his career, 0 for his last 28, 0 for 27 in the month of May. The 36-year-old who was MVP just 2 seasons ago. Waits for an 0-2 and fouls it back.
Now, when you've got pressure on you like he has, because the back of his baseball card has been Hall of Fame worthy, and it will, he has really had trouble with sliders off the plate, especially in this situation. You know he's working on it, but can he stay off of it?
Peralta's got one of the best sliders in all of Major League Baseball this season. Opponents are 2 for 40 against his slider this year. A 1-2 to Goldschmidt. Slow.
The one thing about pitching, when you see a guy and you see the numbers and you see the scouting report and you go, oh, I don't know about this. No, you have to keep doing what they're telling you to do until he makes the adjustments. So don't give him anything else trying to out-trick somebody.
2-2 pitch gets him with a breaking ball, and that'll do it. 1-2-3. A 10-pitch start for Freddie Peralta. The Brewers and their hot offense are coming up.
Looking for the perfect grill? Find yours at Ace, because at Ace, the perfect grill comes with free assembly, delivery, and fuel, like the Weber Gas Grill, Big Green Egg Charcoal Grill, Traeger Wood Pellet Grill, and Blackstone Gas Griddle. You won't find all these premium brands and service at a warehouse store, only at your neighborhood Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed. Buy a new grill at Ace and get free assembly, delivery, and fuel.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
If you're finally ready to take a trip without the kids, why stay at a hotel with more kids? Get an Airbnb and have the place to yourselves.
Welcome to Jiffy Lube. How can we call more for you today?
Whatever's quick. Please, we got a date with the zoo.
No worries. You'll be in and out with a colorful, quick quality oil change.
My windows are kind of a mess.
We got you.
Need a car and courtesy vacuum?
You're gonna need a bigger vacuum. car more. Now I get it. Mommy could use a little self-car.
Jiffy Lube. Car more.
There's nothing better than a game. A great tasting Miller Lite. It's less filling than Miller Lite. Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.
Brewers have 18 runs and 22 hits and 5 stolen bases in the first 2 games of this series, and their starting lineup presented by Edward Jones has been hot. Turang has been great as a leadoff man this week. Contreras has been their best hitter. Adames, Bowers, Hoskins, Frelick, Sanchez, Dunn, and Perkins. Christian Yelich, who just came back from injury, is on a scheduled off night tonight. They'll all face Kyle Gibson, who's been a great addition to the St. Louis rotation so far this year.
Yeah, he's not your modern day flamethrower, but what he's going to do is mix and match. He's a pitcher that uses 4 different type of fastballs, and you see the changeup curveball at the end of it, but he's going to mix and match and try to throw as many strikes on the corners and then sink, cut, ride a fastball, and try to keep this offense off balance and off base. Off the bases, because they do a lot of damage on the bases.
Turang in particular has been their best base stealer by far, and suddenly they have found a leadoff man, at least for the week. Last season it was mostly Christian Yelich in the leadoff spot. They've had 5 different leadoff batters this season. Turang in there for the 4th consecutive day, and he's been red hot since being inserted. Arenado in at 3rd. It goes the other way to 2nd for Nolan Gorman, and they'll retire Bryce Turang to start the night.
Well, the St. Louis Cardinals have a different style of pitching in their rotation, and right now that's going to be magnified when your team doesn't score and they don't have a lot of swing and miss pitchers that rely on the contact that we're going to see in defense. It puts a lot of pressure on that pitching staff to pitch perfect when you're not scoring, and that is a tough task. So you just hope, if you're a pitcher, when the offense starts clicking, you don't start giving up a lot of runs.
Here's William Contreras, who has struggled mightily against Kyle Gibson in his career, but has been one of the best hitters, bar none, in baseball this season. Top 5 in hits. You see where he ranks in runs, RBIs, and average. But just 1 for 14 with 8 strikeouts against Gibson for his career. Right down the middle, but low.
Well, part of it is the only kryptonite he has is a fastball down, maybe a little bit of a blind spot. He swings over the top of the fastball down, but on the breaking ball he can get to it. He's covering the plate and he's showing it offensively.
He shows that one into deep left center field. Donovan has to shield his eyes from that sunshine pouring in. It's a ground rule double, the 13th for Contreras this season, and with 1 away, Milwaukee's got a man in scoring position.
Well, since coming from Atlanta, he has been a big part of the offense for the Brewers and defensively making all kinds of changes to become one of the elite catchers. But there's no doubt he can swing the bat. Of course, he was hoping to play against his brother in this series, but that's another story we'll get into later on the broken forearm.
It is now a 19-game on-base streak for William Contreras, the longest active streak in baseball. And here's Willy Adames. Been a very good power hitter from the shortstop position. He's got the most RBIs among shortstops this season, and since 2021 has the most home runs by any shortstop in baseball with 87. He's got 1 home run against Gibson in his career, and he's ahead of the count 2-0.
Up and away, down and away. Only 2 holes in the strike zone. He will chase like a lot of right-handed hitters will chase down and above the zone, but you saw the first 2 missing.
.2-0 pitch. Adames waves and misses. He has a tendency to chase. His top's on this team in strikeouts, but they're happy to take his production.
2-0 breaking ball. Good pitch with a runner in scoring position. Get to an aggressive hitter. You don't have to throw him a strike if you make it look like a strike in the zone.
There's a 2-1. Good frame job by Ivan Herrera behind the plate, and he steals a strike. It's 2-2.
He definitely was not in that box. Now puts a lot of pressure on Adames.
2-2 pitch and a fastball down and away. Adames, a free agent to be. He's a productive player for Tampa Bay, but has been great with Milwaukee. Runner at second, one out in the first in a scoreless game, and a payoff pitch off the end of the bat popped up. Herrera will watch that one sail foul.
Interesting pitch selection, 2-2. After seeing that borderline pitch for called for a strike, he went with the fastball and then came back with the 3-2 breaking ball. The reason I say it's interesting, that last thing you remember as a hitter is he felt like that was a ball called strike. Could have put a lot more pressure on him with a breaking ball in that same area.
Another 3-2 offering coming from Gibson, and it's right back up the middle. Sliding stop by the second baseman Gorman. An excellent play to get Adames for the second out. Contreras on to third. Good job by Gorman. Was already shaded over and made a good play.
Yeah, this was a really good play. Of course, shaded over to that second base side, allowed him to get on the other side. Of course, no shifts anymore.
Gorman makes the play. Runner at third and 2 down for Jake Bauers. So with Yelich out and getting a day off, Bauers bumps up to the cleanup spot today. He's been in a great stretch this week. An RBI chance for Milwaukee with 2 down. Bauers will take a close pitch low. Made some adjustments this week with Christian Yelich in his ear. Switched over to a toe tap just like Yelich did last May, and it's worked pretty well for Bauers so far these last few days.
Inside.
Inside, according to the home plate umpire Jim Wolf. 2-0 the count.
Those adjustments hopefully will cut down a lot of swing and misses and a lot of strikeouts, especially against right-handed pitchers.
Bauers with his 5th MLB team. We'll watch a breaking ball drop in for a strike. Couple of hits and an RBI triple last night. He had a home run on Thursday. For a guy who's been losing some time at first base, he has certainly forced Pat Murphy to keep him in the lineup with how well he's hit. He's trying to drive in Contreras. Gibson misses low, and it's 3-1.
Gibson was trying to go along with the scouting report of a lot of swings and misses out of the zone, and he has fallen behind 3-1 now. You just no way you can give in to this count with a right-handed hitter on deck.
Hoskins waits on deck. Bauers waits for a 3-1. Big cut. Saw that toe tap from Bauers trying to get the timing right. Gibson ramped it up for a strike.
And that's the big hole right there. Inside is where he has a big hole of swings and misses and not a lot of contact.
He's only playing his 27th game, and Bauers has already struck out 32 times, second on the team. Second straight full count for Gibson. And another payoff pitch coming. Way down and missed. Bauers goes down swinging, and a good job by Gibson to bear down after the 1-out double. He leaves Contreras stranded. We've played an inning in Milwaukee.
If I buy tickets to a game for me and my girlfriend, but then we break up, do you have an innovation to make us get back together?
No, we can't bring your girlfriend back, but you can sell the ticket on SeatGeek and maybe get your money back.
That's a shame. I mean, the relationship had run its course. You know, we were just kind of moving in different directions. We wanted to. Well, we did. We wanted different things. We wanted different things.
What does it take to define the ideal driving experience? It takes Polestar 2. With fully electric performance, Swedish design and engineering, and up to 320 miles of range. Polestar 2 is designed for drivers. View offers at polestar.com.
Is playoff Jason a thing?
Nah,
Playoff Jason is not a thing.
Okay, Tatum. We all know it's a thing. Same goes for playoff Spider.
It's not a thing.
Playoff Brunson can't deny it.
I mean...
Is that official?
Oh, wait, no.
Oh, I see. You got the whole league in on this.
Not a thing.
Let me guess. Playoff Shea.
It's not a thing.
Are you serious? Everyone's going playoff and saying it's clearly a thing.
It's not a thing.
Well, let's find out.
I'll be honest. By the end of the day, my floors, yeesh. But who has the time to clean? That's why I love my Swiffer WetJet. It's a quick and easy way to get my floors clean. WetJet absorbs and locks grime deep inside. Look at that. Swiffer WetJet.
Wendy's Orange Dreamsicle Frosty, this takes me back, man.
It's like taking a trip down memory lane.
I didn't know they sold dreamsicles on memory lane.
For the flavor that takes you back, get Wendy's new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball. The National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum right here in Milwaukee, and home to over 10,000 of them, including our man John Smoltz.
You know,
with the award and everything, so pretty darn good. Nolan Arenado leads it off against Freddie Peralta and takes one up and in. A 10-pitch first inning for Peralta. Now he deals with Nolan Arenado, who had a cold start to the year but has leveled off nicely. He loves hitting at this ballpark. He's the all-time slugging and OPS leader at American Family Field. Well, just 1 for 7 in this series so far. Checks a swing. It's a strike anyway down the middle. See what he's done against Milwaukee in his career. Very good numbers. Peralta's 1-2, and Arenado has to reach out to poke it to Hoskins, who flips to Peralta. 4 up and 4 down. Down to the field in a moment as we look at what Peralta's done so far this season with his pitch arsenal.
Well, if he could pick up that strike percentage, these pitches are nasty because he can pitch off of any lane that he throws. The four-seam fastball, there's the percentage. He throws that slider, which we talked about, is just devastating. Changeup way above average. And then the curveball, just a change of effect and high level. So he has everything you need to know about dominating on the mound. Just got to throw a few more strikes.
We'll start out Burleson with a strike. 4 of 5 first pitch strikes to start the game. Burleson DH'd yesterday, now in right. Flips one down the left field line. That will drop, but foul. Third base umpire Edwin Jimenez was right on top of it. So Peralta is back. For more, we go down to the field and check in with Ken Rosenthal.
John, Freddie Peralta is a man after your own heart. His goals for the season, 200 innings, 200 strikeouts. Now, the 200 strikeouts shouldn't be a problem. He had 210 last year, 6th highest strikeout rate in the game. 200 innings, well, 165 2/3 is his career high. He accomplished that last year. And remember, last season, only 5 pitchers got to 200.
Well, eventually that's going to be the new normal. I know it isn't right now, but with the rate of injuries and the turnover in the pitching department, at some point they're going to have to relook at what everyone's doing, because what we're doing is not good on the injury report.
Burleson pops it up. Terang is there. 5 up and 5 down.
But the way to accomplish that, when Kenny was talking about, it's a great goal to have. But pitchers have been so used to being addicted to swing and miss, strikeouts and missing barrels, that the only way you can do that is to continue to see spin baseballs out of the zone. And what you find yourself doing is throwing more pitches than normal, which cuts down your innings. So I think in this ballpark, which is hitter friendly, and I get it, but the mindset he has and the stuff he has, I think he will accomplish it if he stays true to that goal and he gets the results along with it.
Ivan Herrera will take a good fastball for a strike. Quickly down 0-2. Just a shade under 41 innings tossed by Peralta thus far. He went just 5 on Sunday at Wrigley Field in his last start. Herrera flips this one the other way, and that one's a fair ball. Herrera with a big turnaround first over his Frelick to cut it off. And it's the first base runner and hit for St. Louis. It comes in 2 outs in the second.
people may not remember. I mean, the Milwaukee Brewers fans are going to remember as you see this breaking ball just off the end of the bat. They had 4 dynamic starters in the bullpen at one time 5 years ago. And I think now you're seeing the fruits of some of it, but you're also seeing the injuries of some of it too, being bounced back and forth with currently one of their best pitchers, Brandon Woodruff, trying to come back from shoulder surgery, and Corbin Burns, of course, being traded to the Baltimore Orioles. So this is a surprising start to a lot of people, but it's not surprising to what the Brewers and their manager, new manager, Pat Murphy, have decided to take on this mantra of underdogs.
Matt Carpenter, Williamson misses against Peralta here. So Matt Carpenter is back, hoping to add a little bit of a boost to this struggling St. Louis offense. Carpenter with a very early season injury, first week of the season, an oblique strain that has kept him out for 30+ games. 1-1 is fouled back by the now 38-year-old from Texas, who has spent the last 2 years with the Yankees and the Padres, now in his 12th season with the team that bred him in Major League Baseball, the St. Louis Cardinals, for whom he was a 3-time All-Star. Peralta gets Carpenter to foul tip it into the glove of Contreras, and he works around the 2-out single. Second strikeout for Peralta.
To start a business, you need an idea.
It's a pillow with a speaker in it. That's right, Craig.
A team that's highly competent.
I'm just here for the internet. AT&T, it's super fast.
Reliable.
You locked us out?
Solution-oriented. And most importantly,
is the internet out? Don't worry, we have AT&T internet backup.
the next level network.
I sold a pillow.
This is Roundup Dual Action. This stuff doesn't just kill existing weeds down to the root. It keeps working for up to 4 months, from the first days of spring to the 4th day of July. From summer beach days to pumpkin spice lattes. From sweltering days to sweater weather days. Roundup Dual Action kills existing weeds and keeps on working for up to 4 months. That's 120 days of days. Guaranteed or your money back. Roundup Dual Action. This stuff works.
I was born with wings, but psoriasis clipped them until I got clear skin with Bimzelx. Most people got 100% clear skin, some after the first dose.
Serious side effects, including suicidal thoughts and behavior, infections, and lowered ability to fight them. Liver problems and inflammatory bowel disease have occurred. Tell your doctor if these happen or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to.
Start to get yourself back with Bimzelx.
Ask your dermatologist about Bimzelx today.
Can Sugar Ray Leonard do everyday tasks wearing boxing gloves?
Happy birthday.
And now putting on his new ArchFit Skechers Slip-ins. You just step in and go with comfort that will knock you out. Try new ArchFit hands-free Skechers Slip-ins.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering magic. The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Spring into savings this moving season with Pods. Save up to 25% now on moving and storage and see why Pods has been trusted with over 6 million moves. But don't wait. Save up to 25% now. Visit pods.com today.
Cubs got to look at the phenom Paul Skeens in his Major League debut today, but they're delayed in Pittsburgh, while the Reds snapped an 8-game losing streak with a win against the Giants last night. They're in action right now. Brewers on top by a half game. Rhys Hoskins leads off the home second and takes a strike from Kyle Gibson. Hoskins with 3 hits in the series, including a 3-run home run in the first inning on Thursday in the opener off Sonny Gray. He lines a shot towards left center field. Nootbaar with a jump and a reach and a catch to retire Hoskins. So 1 down here at the bottom of the second. This is what John was talking about in the last inning. Just a new look for Milwaukee. David Stearns now with the Mets, Craig Counsell manning the Cubs, Matt Arnold, who's been with the organization for a decade, and Pat Murphy step up. Burns, Woodruff, and Miley part of their rotation. Miley dealing with Tommy John surgery, but an offense that ranked 17th in runs last year is top 5 in all of baseball this season. Sal Frelick.
And to me, this has been a surprise and good for the Brewers in what, when you look at everything they lost, it wasn't just player personnel, it was also a manager, general manager.
Frelick bounces one. Gibson on the move will tag him.
And so what they basically decided is that they were going to take on, like, all right, hey, we're picked 4th. No one thinks we got a chance. And all of a sudden, the season starts. We're almost, what, quarter of the way?
Sure.
And they're doing all the things you have to do. They create threat on the bases. They do enough at the plate. And, of course, when they get their closer back, who's another guy out that we didn't mention there, and Williams. I mean, this division was wide open, but I don't think people thought it was wide open for the Brewers to be in the position they're in right now.
It's a very impressive start to their season. Gary Sanchez has been a nice addition as a backup catcher so far. He'll take ball 1. He had a home run in Kansas City earlier this week, and he's got 4 of them in the last 13 games.
Kind of a rare start against right-handers, primarily going to be used against left-handed pitchers with the power and the way that he handles left-handers.
Big cut. He swung out of his shoes on the sweeper. So he was working in batting practice on going the other way, knowing he was facing a righty. Not the swing approach we saw in BP.
Yeah, he was trying to send one to the slide right
That's
to
right.
Bernie's.
Trying to hit Bernie out there.
Chalet. This guy, what a start to his career.
1-1 is outside.
And then unfortunately, like, a pretty big fall in trying to get back to proving what he can be. You think about the offensive numbers he put up for the Yankees as a catcher, and then it kind of all went the wrong way, and now he's here with the Milwaukee Brewers.
2-time All-Star for the Yankees. Will swing and ground one on one hop to the 10-time Gold Glover Nolan Arenado. A nice 8-pitch 1-2-3 inning for Gibson, who's off to a nice start.
Are you not entertained?
Here's looking at Zoo, kid. Members get free e-coupons for select zoo attractions, like the summer special exhibit, Dinosaur Discovery, sponsored by Sendix Food Market.
It's always good to have a Zoo Pass lying around.
Order today at zoopass.com.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy. Yet this year, one local law firm finalized the largest compensatory verdict in state history against an automaker, over $38 million. And it was no fluke. That same firm has been holding big car companies accountable for faulty designs that cause injury for over 50 years. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Here's to sweet summer days together in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment. Here's to supper club celebrations. And to a lifetime of memories. Here's to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder. And dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin.
That's everything.
It's everything.
Yeah? Everything? Not everything.
The Hyundai Palisade. With advanced tech and award-winning safety. There's joy in every journey.
Lease the Palisade for $359 a month or get up to $1,250 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Here's looking at Zoo, kid. Members get free e-coupons for select zoo attractions, like the summer special exhibit, Dinosaur Discovery, sponsored by Sendix Food Market.
It's always good to have a Zoo Pass lying around.
Order today at zoopass.com.
Got a Roku? Then you have Fox Local. Stream Fox 6 News anytime.
Got the largest selections of official jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your favorite team at MLBshop.com. 8-9-1 for the Cardinals. Nolan Gorman hit a home run yesterday as he came in off the bench And a solo shot in the 9th on his 24th birthday. Hitting just 179, but it snapped a brutal drought in the month of May. And this one is floated down the right field line towards the corner. That'll drop for a base hit. Frelick is over to cut it off and slams into the sidewall in the process. That'll hold Gorman to a single. Going into that at bat, when Gorman had come in as a defensive sub and then hit in the 9th, he, Paul Goldschmidt, and Dylan Carlson were a combined 0 for 55 in the month of May, and then Gorman had the home run last night.
Yeah, if you want to know why the Cardinals have been struggling in May, 1-7, it's that.
Yep.
And they've got to find a way, and you know it's going to break out in a big way in a big game.
As Wynn fouls a bunt.
But right now, it's a frustrating fact that they are just not hitting. And you look at the home run that broke that offer. And they need a few more of that. They have not been producing power. They have not been producing average. And therefore, almost dead last in runs scored.
Wynn with a big cut on a fastball, 0-2. Second to last in scoring, second to last in home runs, and in the bottom 5 in most offensive categories this season. It's been a rough series. Wynn pokes one into shallow left field, cover the whole plate, got a piece to pull it into left. So the bottom of the order with back-to-back knocks against Freddie Peralta to get him in scoring position.
And I would say again, for the glass half full, the good news is it can only get better.
Sure. It's got to go up from here, you would think, right?
And the problem is it's got to get better quicker, or when it does get better, it may not matter, right? They've got an 8-game deficit right now, and I would say it's imperative they win one of the next 2 games in this series. You don't want to get swept in a 4-game series and find yourself 10 games back and you haven't even hit Labor Day.
Ken Rosenthal's down on the field with a little bit more.
Guys, they spent nearly $100 million on starting pitching in the offseason, free agent starting pitching. They added $6 million with Keenan Middleton, an injured reliever, and they traded for Andrew Kittredge, another reliever. But last season, they were 19th in the league in runs scored, finished last in the NL Central. Maybe they should have invested in their offense, too.
It's a consideration to make now, right? Brendan Donovan will take a ball. So now when you get to this point, and especially if what takes place that you're talking about, John, now they're thinking about, well, do we keep some of these players? Do we even hold on to some of the bigger names that we have? Or is that talk that John Mozeliak has with his staff? Brendan Donovan fouls it away 1-1. What's this team even going to look like in late July if they continue to struggle? That's why you're saying you got to turn it around soon.
Yeah, that's where you're faced with some really, really tough decisions that the Cardinals have not in the last 15 to 20 years.
My gosh,
been dealing with. And look, a little bit of it's somewhat bad luck and timing, right?
Yeah.
The players that went somewhere else, some got released, they got picked up. It appears they're all doing better, but it's really about the guys they're keeping and the lack of performance there that makes the other seem worse.
Yeah, it's magnified, right?
Yeah.
Because of that. We have just gotten so used to seeing the Cardinals in the postseason. It was 3 straight years until last year. Trying to find a hit with a runner in scoring position. Gorman at second, Wynn at first. Donovan lashes it foul the other way.
Not one of the strengths either with runners. And when you don't score runs, that shows up that you're dead last in the National League in runners in scoring position. Batting average. Yeah.
Under 200. They're the only team under 200 hitting with runners in scoring position. Down back. The league average is 256, and it's the same as it was last year with runners in scoring position. So they're basically 60 points below league average, which is shocking to think. And a couple of hard hitters at the top in Donovan and Nootbaar. Check swing, and it's no swing according to Edwin Jimenez, so a full count.
Well, early pitch of the game, 3-2 first and second, nobody out, and don't think they're going to send the runners and be aggressive here.
8th pitch to Donovan. Got the hands in, muscled it out to Frelick in right. He's in for the catch. A bluff from second base by Gorman, and a quick throw by Frelick keeps the runners at bay. One down here in the third. 0 for 12 now with runners in scoring position for the series is St. Louis.
I've said it always, and I've not been a position player. I've hit a little bit in the National League, but I can't imagine what it's like when you're good news, bad news. You're struggling, but you get to get right after it the next day. And then if you keep your struggling, then you get to get right after it the next day, and it just starts building and building. And when you're a superstar and there's so much expected of you, I'm sure that magnifies it even worse. And no one has escaped it, even Mike Trout. I'm sure Ohtani has gone through some stretches where he looks human.
Bar takes down and away.
But it makes it even worse when you go to a new team and you do it. Your team that you've been with for 6-7 years, you got that rope where they go, we've seen the 5 good years. We know he's coming back.
Well, we'll take a slider for a strike. That excellent Peralta slider. Nootbaar will take a fastball off the plate. Peralta just coming off his first loss of the season on Sunday in Chicago. This came on the heels of a bench clearing incident on April the 30th against Tampa Bay. He was suspended, then appealed the suspension. Of course, while the appeal process is going on, you can still pitch. So he pitched on Sunday in Chicago, dropped the appeal. As a pitcher, you only have to sit out for 5 games, so essentially an extra day of rest. And he was activated and reinstated again today to make the start. Called strike 3 on the changeup. He freezes Nootbaar, and after the first 2 men reach, the next 2 have been retired. And now it'll be Goldschmidt with an RBI chance, looking for his first hit in the month of May. This was earlier today, very early, way earlier than usually we see, Ken Rosenthal.
It was, but he's been doing this regularly, and I talked to him about it. I said, Paul, what is the issue? And he said it's really not one thing. Ali Marmol talked yesterday about how he's not comfortable with his load, the rhythm with his hands and his hips. But Goldschmidt said he's been searching really since the second half of last season, into spring training, and now, of course, the start of the regular season.
Well, hitting, and like everything else, is timing. You see where his bat is. His bat has always been in that position. Front shoulder leaks a little bit. You pull away from that breaking ball, which has given him issues. The timing of a hitter is essential, and they all go through funks. And when you're searching and you're struggling, you know what happens? It seems like it's 0-2 every single at bat. And guess what? It's 0-2 in this at bat. And he's going to have to fight off that slider eventually from Peralta, because that has been what everybody is attacking him with.
He was down 0-2 and struck out in the first, down 0-2 here in the third. And he waves and misses, and a fastball. Goldschmidt mired in an 0 for 30. And Peralta, after giving up knocks to start the inning, gets out of the jam with a K of Paul Goldschmidt.
If advanced lung cancer has you searching for possibilities, discover a different first treatment. Immunotherapies work with your immune system to attack cancer, but Opdivo plus Yervoy is the first combination of 2 immunotherapies for adults newly diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer that is spread, tests positive for PD-L1, and does not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. Opdivo plus Yervoy is not chemotherapy. It works differently. It helps your immune system fight cancer in 2 different ways. Opdivo and Yervoy can cause your immune system to harm healthy parts of your body during and after treatment. These problems can be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have a cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, diarrhea, constipation, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, dizziness, fainting, eye problems, extreme tiredness, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, rash, itching, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, joint pain, flushing or fever. These are not all the possible side effects. Problems can occur together and more often when Opdivo is used with Yervoy. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions, including immune or nervous system problems, if you've had or plan to have an organ or stem cell transplant or receive chest radiation. Your search for 2 immunotherapies starts here. Ask your doctor about Opdivo plus Yervoy, a chance to live longer.
You must be Isaac. Come on in. Here's my pride and joy.
Beautiful stair renovation, sir.
And they're covered with your home and auto bundle with Progressive, so you get round-the-clock protection.
So is Gabby coming down?
Oh, she said she'll meet you at the prom.
Our house-made ketchup.
I'm Janet Hines. I can't be seen eating non-Heinz ketchup.
Do we have any Heinz?
There.
It's your anniversary today. You could have arrived empty-handed, but you exist in a world where it's easy to get flowers this fresh. Your door to better relationships. DoorDash.
Scoreless to the home half of the third. Oliver Dunn, 26-year-old rookie, leads things off against Kyle Gibson. An absolute blazer at the plate. Part of the Milwaukee philosophy. A lot of their young players, guys they picked up in drafts or trades, boy, they can fly, and Dunn no different. Gibson pours in a nice looking curveball for a called strike.
Well, that's what Gibson's going to do. He's going to try to change angles, change spins, give you nothing in the same area too many times, and try to keep you off balance. Occasionally he'll get that high strikeout total, but primarily he's a contact pitcher, and weak contact's what he wants.
That's been part of the reason he's been able to go at least 6 innings in all 7 of his starts. And you see this 6+ and 2 or fewer earned runs in each of his last 4 starts. 5 of his 7 outings have been quality outings this season. Inside on Dunn to even the count. Gibson, the 36-year-old from Indiana. Played his college ball at Mizzou. Now in his first year with the Cardinals on a 1-year contract with some options. 2-2 pitch.
Well, they say speed doesn't slump, right? But you got to put it in play a little bit
put it in
more
play.
for that
Exactly.
speed not to slump. And if this young man can figure out how to put it in play a little more, it could be electric on the bases.
He's had 2 triples this season in his rookie campaign, showing off the speed. Breaking ball into the gap. Here we go. This could be fun. Oliver Dunn. It's going to be a double as Nootbaar did a good job of getting over to it. But an extra base hit for the rookie, and he's in a scoring position to start the third.
Yeah, this ballpark's tough to get triples in, but it's also conducive for the home run ball, and he gets one a little too much of the plate. 3-2 pitch had to come kind of in there and almost on cue. He was might have had an earpiece in listening to it.
He'll settle for a 2-bagger. So we were talking about the speed of Milwaukee. They have 5 players in the top 50 in sprint speed. Dunn and Perkins are 2 of them.
Well, the one thing they don't do, and the league never did until the rule changes, is bunt much. And I think over time, though, if you've got this kind of speed and the ability to utilize it, you may see a few more. You know, Yelich did it yesterday.
Yep.
Bunt for base hit.
And an RBI. In at third is Arenado. Perkins, the switch hitter batting left-handed, will take one inside.
And unfortunately, when you're struggling offensively and you do have to put down some sac bunts, St. Louis has done that, I think, 8 or 9 times.
Yep.
It just hasn't translated. But that's what you know, as a manager, you're kind of hamstrung on what you can do when your offense has got too many holes in it. You know, you can't move runners, you can't hit and run. You certainly are trying to find ways to get runs and give your pitching staff some kind of cushion, and they just haven't had that recently, and it's showing up.
Taps it foul. It's quite the dichotomy between these 2 teams, right? Milwaukee and St. Louis. We were talking with Pat Murphy about it earlier today. They've won the first 2 games of the series with 3 home runs on Thursday, no home runs yesterday. Meanwhile, St. Louis, a team that has guys that can mash. I mean, think about, I know they're veteran players. Yeah. Carpenter now back, Goldschmidt and Arenado each with 300+ homers. But the power just hasn't been there yet. The other things haven't been capitalized upon. 3-2 on Perkins. And
well,
another full count.
When you're faced with a roster and maybe even the feeling like you're not supposed to win, that's where Milwaukee and Pat Murphy in spring training started buying into, or getting them to buy into, how to beat a top line starter, how to put the ball in play when needed, and create stress and chaos on the bases.
No swing, says Jimenez. So it is a walk to Perkins. So just like the Cardinals did at the top of the inning, the 8 and 9 hitters get aboard.
And because what the little things that they've worked on and bought into, they're the best in the National League with runners on base, average-wise. So they found ways, and they don't have one of their stars in the game today in Yelich, but collectively they found ways to kind of put runs on the board. They've been in every game, with the exception of 1 or 2, that the tying run hasn't come to the plate.
Infield is in. There is a bunt put down by Terang, trying to use his speed. Calm and cool was Gibson, but a successful sacrifice to move a couple of runners over, and done in Perkins. Nicely done by Terang, and that'll set it up for Contreras.
This is just textbook. We don't get a chance to see it very often. I know a lot of people right now are rolling their eyes going, you got to be kidding me. A bunt, but now the stress, and one of your better hitters is at the plate. And you don't have the highest strikeout pitcher on the mound, so that's how you do. That's how you create runs early, and that's how you have winning baseball.
That was just the second sacrifice of the season for Milwaukee, and it allows Contreras to come up with 2 in scoring position. Base open at first, but Adames is on deck. Good block by Herrera behind the plate, keeping the runners at bay.
I get what information tells you, and I'm not against information, but what it doesn't do is tell you what the pitcher on the mound is feeling or facing, right? They only tell you in a vacuum why you shouldn't give out an out, but the pitcher on the mound now has stress in a place he might not have. He could have got a double play ball and swing and a miss, and he's out of the inning. Now contact to the right part of the field, other than the pitcher, is going to produce a run, and that's kind of the difference now, with no shift, with the ability for the game to be played a little faster and show some more athleticism. That's what you can do in the game with the roster that Milwaukee has.
2-0. Contreras will take a fastball in and low. It's 3-0. Gibson in a tough spot right now. Again, base open with Adames waiting.
And it's so hard as a pitcher when you're on a team that's struggling to score runs. He's trying to get out of this with 0 runs because he knows he has to, or feeling he has to. But the reality is, the mindset with second and third, 1 out, is get out of it with 1 run.
Yeah.
Trade the out for a run if you have to, but don't create the really, really big inning, and then you feel like you got no chance to win the game because your offense is good.
I was talking with a couple of the guys around the Brewers, and they were saying, and I was like, man, you guys are hitting really well with runners in scoring position. And all of them kind of collectively said, yeah, but they don't do so well with the bases loaded. They were talking about that a little bit last night. For whatever reason, just this spot, oftentimes you'll see guys like Adames and Contreras who are looking to do some real damage in these spots. Let's see what Gibson can do to try to get out of it. A double, a walk, a sac bunt, another walk. They're loaded up with Dunn, Perkins, and Contreras for Adames.
First pitch has not been great for Adames. He has not had success on that first pitch. Only 2 hits out of 14. Will this be one of the time he looks for a pitch to drive, or will he stay stubborn and try to work the count a little bit?
Trying to bust it open early. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 3rd. Gibson to Adames. Outside. This has been a problem early for Gibson, getting behind hitters. Only 4 first pitch strikes in the first 12 batters of the game. Two and 0. That is 6 straight out of the zone. Gibson will step off. That's one disengagement.
Thomas likes to pull the ball. He's trying to get a ball on the ground for a double play to end the inning.
Big cut there on a 90-mile-an-hour cutter.
That was the mindset for Kyle Gibson, and he actually got away with it because that pitch was a little bit too much of the plate. Even though he got good cut action to that pitch, Thomas was trying to send it up to the slide.
Like putt-putt style, where you get it on the slide. Yeah, I see what you're thinking there. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2 balls and a strike. Adames will take a good cutter on the inner part of the plate for a strike. That's a big pitch for Gibson.
Yeah, and again, that's a mistake. Watch where he's trying to throw it. See how it backs up? If a pitcher could ever perfect that pitch, I think you would never give up a hit to a hitter, because the hitter thinks that ball is going to cut away from him, and it's kind of chasing him. It backs up.
2-2 delivery. Breaking ball is low. Another full count. It's his 5th already to the first 12 batters. Big spot already early in this game. Payoff pitch is waved on and missed. That cutter was huge in that at bat for Gibson, and he gets a key strikeout as he retires Adames for the 2nd out.
Yeah, he sure did. He took advantage of 2 huge swings. Watch how big this swing is. I mean, that's almost like a 3-0 cut. And when you're trying to hit it to the moon, that's doing a pitcher a favor. And Kyle Gibson calmly, 1 batter away from getting out of this jam.
Now it's Jake Bauers. Whoa, up and in. They got a piece of Bauers. And that will score the game's first run. How about that? All that to get Adames, and then you hit Bauers on the very next pitch.
That's one of those, if you're normal, you're going, golly, this year has been strange. You know that he has a hole up and in. You know that's where you're trying to go. The only thing you can't do is hit him, and now that brings up.
Guy's had power in his career in Hoskins. Yeah. He's got 8 home runs this season, one of the top marks on this club, the best in fact.
He does his best damage when he is ahead in the count. When the pitcher's behind, that's where he has feasted.
Gibson's been behind all day. Again here. A 1-0. Another big cut on that 90-mile-an-hour cutter. It's not overpowering, but you're talking about the movement. That was huge.
Yeah, he has really good movement. And again, you know, fastball's in. Hoskins doesn't like it. Bases loaded, little room for error. Stay on the outside with that cutter. Got a swing and a miss.
A 1-1. 2-1.
The key to all of these kind of secondary pitches, which the league wide now we've seen more off-speed pitches than ever before, is you're trying again with the type of swings that the hitters have. You're trying to get under the barrel, over the barrel with high fastballs, under the barrel with breaking balls that look like strikes that end up off the plate.
Gibson's 28th pitch of the frame is nubbed back to the first base side of the mound, and Gibson will take it himself and limit the damage to just a run. I think he's still frustrated at himself for hitting Bauers. That's how the Brewers get the game's first run to the 4th.
What are you doing? Oh, too far, man. How do you sleep at night?
On a mattress from Mattress Firm, the fleet expert matches you at once on their annual budget. So I sleep.
Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night.
The New York Times hails Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes as powerful.
What a wonderful day!
USA Today calls it visually stunning. And it's certified fresh. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, rated PG-13.
This tiny home trend,
not for me. Now, this is more like it. The same goes for my footwear. So I went hands-free with wide-fit Skechers slip-ins. Just step in and go without bending down or touching my shoes. Wide-fit, hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
Never seen it like this before. Whoa, make you wanna get that, get that. Got 'em coming back for more. Let's go. Yeah, I'ma bring the wow. I'ma bring the wow. Yeah, I'ma bring the wow.
Get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months on the GV70, exclusively at your local Genesis retailers.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad. Hey, watch it. It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it. So the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke for the ultimate Gillette shaving experience.
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
No fees or minimums and no overdraft fees are another reason banking with Capital One is an even easier decision than this.
We need a clutch hit. Derek. Jeter.
Hang in there, rookie. Yep, even easier than that. What's in your wallet?
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? We all love and know Bob Uecker, of course, is the longtime voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. Still getting it done at 90 years of age, the Hall of Famer. But, of course, spent a couple of seasons with the St. Louis Cardinals and was part of the 1964 World Series championship for St. Louis. And the famous call, get up, get out of here and gone. Many times do we hear that for guys like Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun in huge moments. There's Nolan Arenado against Freddie Peralta, who sat for a long time in that dugout as the Brewers mustered 1 run against Kyle Gibson.
Yeah, as a pitcher, usually you sit that long, you're rewarded with like 3 or 4 runs. But 1, he'll take it. It's a long time for just 1 run.
Arenado flips this one towards first, and Hoskins backpedals for the out. He really is Mr. Baseball, whether it was on your TV during the 80s and 90s, on the Tonight Show, or Mr. Belvedere, maybe on the silver screen in Major League, filmed right here in Milwaukee, by the way, or listening on the radio on WTMJ. Bob Uecker, one of the all-time greats.
You know,
Burleson, fly ball, first pitch, right center field. Freeland calling off Perkins. And a 3-pitch, 2-out start for Peralta in the 4th.
I can't think of too many statues, or while you're living, that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty awesome.
I mean, that's when you're big time right there, right? I mean, I'm sure they've had him sit in that and take a picture, or at least you would feel
well,
like.
Between this and the Fonzie statue here in Milwaukee, those are 2 landmarks as far as I'm concerned. There's Ivan Herrera, the St. Louis catcher, who is in for the injured Wilson Contreras, the brother of Milwaukee catcher William Contreras. Hard hit with foul.
And there's a lot of buzz going around the game right now, or at least there's a lot of talk of highest percentage of catcher's interference. Of course, Contreras breaking his arm. A lot of that having to do with catchers moving up to steal strikes or frame pitches. And at some point, I mean, I know we live in the information world, but at some point, got to look at what these guys are being judged on versus the return of what's coming, right? Injuries and or things that we've never seen. We've never seen this many catcher's interference calls, and there's only one reason, because the catcher is moving up in the box. See how the hitter has the right to get all the way to the back to let the ball travel?
Herrera goes down swinging. Boy, Freddie Peralta with a quick 8-pitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brewers in front.
At Fisher Investments, we may look like other money managers, but we're different.
How so?
We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our clients' best interest, so we don't sell any commission-based products.
Then how do you make money?
We have a simple management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority by getting to know their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more.
Wow. Maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Good morning, everybody.
Danny, what are you doing up there?
Watching the fresh morning prep, the sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the popping of the fresh lettuce. You know, my lease says I get free subs. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
When you're traveling with 3 kids and pretty much everything they own,
Hi, guys. Welcome.
it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
I'm a bird stuck in Larry Bird's attic. And I'm going cuckoo.
What the heck?
What you got, Larry? May the best bird win. Brick. You may be a legend on the court, but you're an amateur up here. Heads up, Larry. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem, like me. Now you're the bird stuck in the attic.
No application fee if you apply by May 31st at University of Maryland Global Campus, an accredited university that's transformed adult lives for 75 years. You're not waiting to win. You're ready to succeed again at umgc.edu.
My schedule's pretty jam-packed these days. I've got 2 free birthday parties on Saturday, and Sunday, that's my me time.
How's that look?
Works for me.
Works for me.
Danny, no one does what we do. Slicing subs right in front of you since 1956.
Brings me back.
To your younger days?
No, back to yesterday when I ordered the same thing. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Listen to every MLB game live with Bob Uecker, perhaps. You can watch the minor leagues, MLB Big Inning, and available pre- and post games and no blackouts. MLB.com/@bat. They're calling him Sal Skywalker tonight on this Star Wars night. I dropped in a Porkins for all of you when Blake Perkins was up. That was specifically for my fellow Star Wars nerds. Kyle Gibson limiting the damage in the third. Got a first pitch strike on Frelick. Now it's even at a ball and a strike. 27 pitches the first 2 innings, had 28 in the third.
Yeah, big inning here after you really didn't have much time to recover after those 28 pitches. Yeah. Back on the mound again. And again, he's made a lot of tough pitches behind in the count. Like right there could have been a strike, but first pitch strikes have been far and few between. Do you call that a strike or a ball?
They called it a ball, yeah. Now there's a strike.
Scoreboard had it wrong there for a minute, but
I guess we read it wrong. So 3-1 the count now. Beg your pardon.
His ability to pitch behind the count is why he's successful, and those 6 innings have been his stint so far, because most pitchers couldn't survive that.
Frelick skies at foul, 3-2. So I'll reset the count. 15 batters, 5 first pitch strikes for Gibson.
And some of that's on purpose. He's trying to get chase early to try to get weak contact on aggressive hitters.
To the Brewers' credit, they haven't chased. Well, that's on Frelick. Just looked, and Kyle Gibson gets his 3rd strikeout. He pours in the fastball. Pitching at American Family Field, which is the subject of our stadium profile, brought to you by SeatGeek. But before Miller Park at American Family Field, it was County Stadium. And this, over the last 20-plus years, has been one of the best ballparks in the game. Retractable roof takes about 10 minutes to open and shut. Sunlight pours in. A beautiful Milwaukee Saturday. Gary Sanchez takes a swing.
You know, we had the conversations like we do every game that we do, talk to each manager, and I thought it was an interesting point that Pat Murphy made. You know, this is a huge home field advantage, especially early in the year. Weather's not good in most places. Well, they don't have to worry about opening this roof. It's only been opened once. But he did say something in the division they play.
Sanchez ropes that one.
You better, and it goes along with the line of thinking they had in spring training. You better find a way to win in games in Wrigley when that wind's howling in and you can't rely on your power, or you need to hit a ground ball. And those are the kind of things that he's starting to preach now. Learning how to beat a number 1, what that feels like and what you have to do, and then winning games without hitting home runs. And I believe they have one of the best records of winning games without hitting a home run. So it shows the versatility that the Brewers and their rosters have.
8-3, including last night, is Milwaukee when they don't hit a home run. 0-2 on Sanchez.
But you think about it. You got Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Chicago, all early on in the season could have miserable weather, cold. Obviously, St. Louis can still have some of that in the middle of the country, but they're the only one with a dome, and it plays out well early for them.
Yep. Sanchez waves and misses at a sweeper. Back-to-back strikeouts to start this fourth inning for Gibson. Fastball to get Frelick. Now breaking ball on Sanchez. And it's an interesting point you make right now, John, with the home run hitting in this particular division. Hard to come by.
Yeah. You got the Cincinnati Reds along with Milwaukee. A lot of action on the bases, a lot of stolen bases. They want to create. First of all, you can't hit home runs in Cincinnati. I don't know if you'll ever hit home runs.
Sure.
That's a unbelievable hitter's ballpark.
1 done. The Brewers are top 6 in homers. Cubs aren't too far behind, but then Cincinnati's below league average, and the lowest 2 home run totals in baseball this year belong to the Cardinals and the Pirates. Milwaukee getting power this season along with all the speed that they have, including Dunn. We've got Dunn, Perkins, and Terang all back-to-back-to-back, 8, 9, and 1. You got Frelick, who's hitting in the 6th spot, and then Jackson Churio, one of their top prospects. All 5 of those players are in the top 50 in sprint speed in Major League Baseball. Part of the reason that the Brewers have been as aggressive on the base paths as they have. They're number 3 in steals behind Cincinnati and Washington.
Well, not every roster was ready for the rule changes, and the rule changes promote stealing bases, no shift, to get the ball on the ground. You use your speed, and I think small market teams can now compete with some of the big boys.
3-2,
and we saw that. No clearer did we see that than last year. The shock of all shocks with Arizona, taking down the Dodgers and almost winning the World Series, and they did it with a little bit of what we just said. And Cincinnati is trying to do that as well. They haven't quite put it all together, but they want to steal every base.
But don't forget, these Brewers saw those Diamondbacks in the wild card series in a 2-0 sweep. They saw that speed on display. Fouled away.
And it really even. And to some degree, it's not always about the actual stolen bases. It's about the threat of stealing bases when you're on the base. That creates tension for the pitcher. And all you want to do is make him throw a lesser pitch to the hitter, which translates the hitter's advantage. So even if you don't steal, the threat of it.
Ken Rosenthal, you can add.
Well, Quentin Berry is the Milwaukee Brewers first base coach, and he told me earlier this month, we have a lot of speed, more than I think we've ever had at the major league level. Now, the Brewers have always run, even under Craig Counsell during his 8-year tenure. They were around the top 10 the past 3 seasons in stolen bases. But this year under Murphy, he told them we're going to run every time we can.
Got a bunch of chances to do it this year. Good pitch by Gibson. He gets a 1-2-3 frame, striking out the side. Freezes Frelick and Dunn in the process. We have played 4 in Milwaukee. A beautiful Saturday. It's just a 1-0 game.
Look, things may seem fine down there, but you need to watch out for diseases.
I'll be okay.
Does this look okay?
Oh, how do I protect myself?
With the new Scott's Healthy Plus lawn food. It's the only product that prevents 27 diseases while feeding your grass to help keep your lawn healthy this season. Want me to show you how to put it on?
Oh, no, I think I know how to use a spreader.
Pick up a bag of the new Scott's Turf Builder Healthy Plus lawn food today.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
If you have wet AMD, you never want to lose sight of the things you love. Some things should stand the test of time. Long-lasting EYLEA HD could significantly improve your vision and can help you go up to 4 months between treatments. If you have an eye infection, eye pain or redness, or allergies to EYLEA HD, don't use.
Eye injections like Eylea HD may cause eye infection, separation of the retina, or rare but severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye. An increase in eye pressure has been seen. There's an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke associated with blood clots. The most common side effects were blurred vision, cataract, corneal injury, and eye floaters. And there's still so much to see. If you are on Eylea or a similar type of treatment, ask your retina specialist about Eylea HD today for the potential for fewer injections.
Guess it's time to paint.
What is going on?
Whether you're doing it yourself or hiring a pro, today, let's paint. Exclusively at the Home Depot.
I'm the richest guy in the world. I have time to give.
I have people I can count on.
And a million stories to share.
The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Milwaukee starters have stymied St. Louis in the first 3 games of this series so far. Matt Carpenter leads off the top of the 5th and takes a strike. 14 innings tossed between Myers, Robert Gasser last night, who made his major league debut, and Peralta in this series. Just 1 run allowed.
In a perfect world, if everyone was doing what they're supposed to do, what St. Louis thought was going to be and should have been, a very veteran-laden bench that was only going to add to an already good offense.
Carpenter, one of those veterans, added back, and he strokes one into the corner. Looking for extra bases, and he will have it. Welcome back to Matt Carpenter. And he's in a scoring position. That ball got away. Adames chases it down, and Carpenter at 38 will not test. He's got a double, though.
And what Marmol said about the influence of those guys like Brandon Crawford and now Carpenter, it just, you can't analytically put a number on that because it influences those young players. It's a professional at bat off the bench that you know they're not going to be, it's going to be commonplace for them, as opposed to bringing up a young player who doesn't get to play much and then, oh yeah, go ahead and make a pinch hit. It doesn't work as well. Well, my point being, it's not looking great because now you have an older bench with an offense that's not scoring, and you're going to have those critiques out there that not necessarily are fair.
And we'll take a strike. This is a bench right now that has Dylan Carlson as a switch hitter, as you see the Rocky numbers with runners in scoring position. Michael Ciani has been hot as of late. He's been playing in center a lot this year, most of the year, in fact, with all the injuries. And Brandon Crawford, the veteran who hasn't played a whole lot, just 8 games this season, plus the backup catcher Pajes. So when you have Carpenter in the lineup, there's not as many options as of right now. Carlson right now is really your one shot as a switch hitter. You don't have a lot of right-handed power outside of that coming off the bench.
See, Gorman has to put this ball in play. I know, everyone's trying to get hits, which is the end game. I get it, but with 2 strikes, you got to put the ball in play and nothing else. Try to advance the runner.
Peralta's 2-2, and Gorman takes a high pitch. Contreras held it there, but Jim Wolf did not bite. It's full.
Actually, it was a great take and conversely a great pitch by Peralta. Normally that would be a swing out of Gorman.
Struck out 43 times this year, second most on the Cardinals. Fouls this one away and stays alive. St. Louis 15-23. They were sitting at 14-15, and a lot of that has to do with guys like Gibson. Lance Lynn has pitched okay. Sonny Gray, up until the opener this series, had been dynamite to start his St. Louis tenure. But since then, they've lost 8 of 9 and 6 straight. Another payoff pitch and another foul ball off to the left.
See, when you chase power, and we love power. We got exit velocity, we got distance of home runs. When you're chasing power and have a swing, a one clean swing, that brings in more swing and miss and strikeouts. And you know, people say, well, why can't guys cut down their swing just to put it in play in this situation? That's not what they're asking them to do. They would rather sacrifice a swing and a miss strikeout for a double and a home run. And we all know in 162 games that probably works, but guess where it doesn't work? Postseason. Yeah, it just doesn't. And
looks like we may have had a pitcher violation here.
Now that's a kangaroo court fine right there.
Yeah, it is. Put some money in the jar.
That just cannot happen under the circumstances with a swing and miss hitter and a guy on second base. That cannot happen.
You saw Gorman, as you can see the pitch clock very clearly on both sides of center field from home plate, immediately pointed it out, and indeed it is a ball, so it's a walk, and now 2 aboard for Mason Wynn, who puts down a bunt and leaves it foul. This is where St. Louis has been one of the best teams in baseball this year. They're right up there with the White Sox in terms of number of sacrifices to lead Major League Baseball. They and the White Sox each have 8 this season. 5 of those belong to Siani, who's on the bench today. Corners are in. First baseman crashes, and it is a blooper, nearly picked up by Peralta, forces the throw to first, and a good save by Hoskins, who had to come off the bag. The crew chief, Alan Porter, had to back up as Peralta whipped that over towards Hoskins. Everybody's safe. It's an infield single for Wynn on the bunt, and the bases are loaded for the Cardinals.
All right, I don't want to put too much stress on research here, but when's the last game there's been 2 bunts in the same game? But you saw the chaos there that it created, and I think they're going to challenge this.
Let's see.
On first base.
So Alan Porter, who made the call, the crew chief, he waved his arms as if to indicate that Hoskins had been pulled off the bag, but on the replay that we got a chance to see, it looked a little bit closer than that.
And here's one angle, and you see Hoskins right there. Looks like he could be on the bag. We got to see another angle to verify.
Or Terang, beg your pardon. I thought it was Hoskins. My apologies on the sacrifice bunt attempt. Of course, the second baseman came over to cover. So it's not your typical first baseman, but Terang, I thought, did a pretty decent job of trying to stay on the bag.
It's going to be a fraction of just whether or not the toe was still on it. And even if it was, I guess I got to check to see if the timing of the ball in the glove. All right, it's there.
After review, the ball on the field stands. The runner is safe. Milwaukee loses their challenge.
So Milwaukee loses the challenge. Not enough evidence to overturn the call on the field, hence the stand call. They're going to call it as an error. It's a sacrifice officially for Wynn. No base hit. They're loaded for Donovan. Boy, what an opportunity for the St. Louis Cardinals. Desperately trying to get on the board. Looking for their first hit with a man in scoring position in the series. Carpenter, Gorman, and Wynn are aboard, and Donovan pumps it up. The third baseman done over in front of the Cardinal dugout for out number 1.
This is where you want to break those records, right? Meaning it sounds like a broken record all year. They've had a hard time doing certain things. At some point it's going to crack, and it's going to open up an avalanche of runs. But right there is kind of like a microcosm of the year. Bases loaded, nobody out. Really the only thing you don't want is a pop-up in the infield. And now you're a ground ball away from getting 0 potential.
It's up to Nootbaar, who's popped out and struck out. Cardinals have hit into the 3rd fewest double plays in baseball. Peralta's trying to get one here to get out of the jam. 1. Double from Carpenter, a walk to Gorman, a sacrifice for Wynn with an error by Peralta loading him up. Donovan pops out, and now Nootbaar. Fouled away.
Nootbaar does a great job on pitches away, fastballs away, staying on him. He doesn't swing and miss much. The only thing that might get him a little bit is that changeup. He threw that changeup right there, fouled it off, and you see what's happened this series. Over.
There's a strike, and it's 1-2. Nootbaar has hit 2 home runs this week. Tuesday against the Mets, and then in the opener, accounting for the only run against Milwaukee, pitching on Thursday. A 1-2 pitch. 2-2. This has been an issue for Peralta as of late. A lot of pitches. Number still reasonable at 72, but he's seen a lot of traffic as of late. The walk numbers have been up lately. These last few starts. Trying to get out of this inning. Nootbaar trying to deliver. Off the fist, popped up, done out, and off the netting, and he goes crashing into that little padded sidewall. Make sure the fans are all right. The kid's like, no, it's cool. That was a fun experience for me. It's a foul, and it's still 2-2. You went ducking forward into the net and done to make sure he was all right. Like you move back, I think, on those. Another 2-2 pitch. Peralta gets Nootbaar to roll one over foul. 27-year-old Peralta.
He has such great arm action on all of his pitches. And that changeup right there is exactly what he wanted him to do. Roll over, hit it on the ground.
Pitch number 75. To the gap in right center field to get the Cardinals on the board. Carpenter scores. Gorman comes across, and the Cardinals take the lead in the 5th. And finally, a hit with runners in scoring position in the series. It comes from Nootbaar for the lead.
I believe it's the fastball away, and I talked about how good he is on fastballs away, and that's what he got and pulled it in the gap. His strength was exactly where the pitch was. Peralta had made really good pitches that Nootbaar had fouled off, and he got one in the sweet spot. And again, the reason that was so big is because the guy that's struggling the most would have come up with 2 outs had they not scored a run, or he swung and missed. So now it frees up Goldschmidt a little bit.
Yeah, can't you imagine the pressure if Goldschmidt again came up with multiple runners in scoring position? Your team is down. You're in the worst stretch of your career. So maybe a little bit of a breather, a little bit of weight off the shoulders in this at bat.
Well, last at bat, they just really went to a breaking ball. He carved him up with a fastball, and then it's tough when you're in between. You cannot be in between at any position in baseball.
1st and 3rd, 1 out. Goldschmidt sends one down the right field line towards the corner, but it's going to fade out of play foul.
And people will say, why don't you just go and sit on a pitch? Well, hitters don't like guessing, and they don't like sitting on a pitch, because when they get it, sometimes they get too aggressive and get out of their mechanics. They basically sit on an area, but when you're in between and mechanically lost, that mechanical inefficiency is the reason why it looks so bad when you're at the plate struggling.
1-2. As the changeup fouled away. You hear the phrase "in between" a lot when it comes to what Goldschmidt is going through. You're late on fastballs, you're early on breaking balls. Just the timing, as you said in the last at bat, just doesn't seem to sit where you want it to sit. Frustrating for a veteran like Goldschmidt. Peralta's 0-2 is up in it.
And it never seems like, and this is the oddity of it, because as a pitcher it works the other way too. It never seems like a pitcher ever makes a mistake to you when you're struggling. And actually they do. You just aren't ready for him and you're not in position. But he needs a mistake on the inner half of the plate.
1-2 delivery and a breaking ball low. It's a good take by Goldschmidt, who's been chasing a lot of those types of pitches as of late. 25 pitch frame. Longest of the day for Peralta. Goldschmidt waves and misses at a fastball. Back-to-back fastballs have put him down after the slider got him in the first.
It's funny, you face a hitter who's just red hot, and the reason he's red hot is pitchers make more mistakes to him out of trying to make perfect pitches versus when a guy's struggling, you know, if you stay in one area, you're going to get him out because that's what the scouting report and evidence tells you, and that's what Peralta has done to one of the best of all time at first base.
Still a chance to add for Arenado, and he'll take a strike.
I had the worst philosophy of pitching when a guy was struggling. I kept thinking I'd rather face a guy 10 for 10. And it's warped thinking, like, oh, this guy's going to get a hit sooner or later. Like, you don't want to.
So you weren't like confident,
no,
like I'm going to get this guy out. You're like, I don't want to be the guy to give it up.
Yeah, and it worked. That's not the way you have to be.
Trust
me.
0-2 to Arenado, way high. Churris out of the crouch, checks back to Nootbaar at first, who got the Cardinals on the board and in front.
I've had the worst thing said to me by a teammate. I couldn't believe he said it. He's like, oh, you're going to carve these guys up. They're terrible. Like, why would you say that to me? Of course, I lost that game.
Of course. Trying to hit the fastball, the Cardinals, and Peralta goes right back to the fastball. A little bit away from Arenado. He cannot connect. But Lars Nootbaar finally breaks the skid for the Cardinals. We're halfway through this Saturday game. St. Louis in front.
And Doug.
Limu, someone needs to customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Let's fly. Chief?
Doug.
Oh, wow. I thought you were right behind me.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. You know what's brilliant? Boring. Think about it. Boring is the unsung catalyst for bold.
What straps gold to a rocket and hurtles it into space? Boring does.
Boring makes vacations happen.
Early retirement's possible.
And startups start up.
Because it's smart, dependable, and steady. All words you want from your bank.
For nearly 160 years, PNC Bank has been brilliantly boring, so you can be happily fulfilled. Which is pretty unboring if you think about
it. Something amazing is happening here. In a world of data, people are accessing critical information quickly and securely. That's because CDW architects are building infrastructures with unified data storage from NetApp. With the flexibility to run workloads across any environment, providers experience less downtime, giving them more time with patience. Make amazing happen. NetApp and CDW.
It only takes a second for an everyday item to become dangerous. Tide Pod's Child Guard Pack helps keep your laundry packs in a safe place and your child safer. To close, twist until it clicks. Tide Pod's Child Guard Packaging.
Wendy's Orange Dreamsicle Frosty, this takes me back, man.
It's like taking a trip down memory lane.
I didn't know they sold dreamsicles on memory lane.
For the flavor that takes you back, get Wendy's new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty.
I told you to can't stop! The United Football League on Fox.
Cardinals have scored 5 runs in the series. 3 have been driven in by Lars Nootbaar, including 2 in the top of the inning to give St. Louis the lead. Blake Perkins will lead things off in the 9th spot and take a strike. 3 straight strikeouts for Gibson in the 4th. Perkins walked his first time.
And that was a huge, nice call there for giving. But that was a huge bounce back after an inning, really, that he was in trouble, got out of trouble, but then hit a batter to give up the only run. And now he's been rewarded with a 2-1 lead, which probably seems like a 5-run lead, the rate that pitchers have having to go for the Cardinals.
Perkins takes all the way right down the middle. Sinker froze him, and that's 4 straight Ks. Tomorrow on FS1, the NASCAR throwback weekend at the legendary Darlington Raceway, with the pre-race kicking things off at 1:30 Eastern, then the green flag flies at 3 Eastern tomorrow on FS1. Our producer Pete Macheska kept insisting that we talk about speed anytime Perkins or Terang or Dunn were up. So there's your NASCAR promo, Pete. There's a strike to Terang.
Speaking of which, did I tell you I had a chance to drive the pace car?
No kidding.
Oh, what an experience.
Oh, God, that's got to be.
Oh.
I would freak out.
It was awesome. Well, we don't go very fast in the pace car, but it's what's behind you revving their engines.
Freaking out.
I had never been to a race, and the adrenaline, the roar, the track, everything about it was unbelievable. Now, they did take me after I went around the track a couple times, got me out, and he took me going about 180, 190, and it felt like we really weren't even moving at the Atlanta speed.
Sure.
So I have a newfound respect for what you see on TV and now the perspective. There's a rearview mirror with a camera in the pace car.
Yeah.
So you get to see everything behind you as clear as you could imagine, like a TV.
Yeah.
And they are 3 inches from your bumper.
1-2. Terang lifts one to left center. Newt Bar is over. And there are 2 down. Base is empty for William Contreras in our dual action sponsored by Roundup. What a start to the year for the Contreras brothers, but as you mentioned, very unfortunate when J.D. Martinez of the New York Mets took a swing, and with Contreras, as you were talking about, catchers just moving up and up, that forearm got right in the swing path, and Martinez fracturing the forearm of Wilson Contreras, the catcher for the Cardinals. JD, public enemy #1 for St. Louis and for Atlanta today. Broke up a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th inning.
2 outs in the 9th.
With a home run. Former Brave William Contreras is down 0-2.
It's been an interesting year. Speaking of the Braves, for Max Fried, he started off horribly and has now 2 outings of no-hit ball. I think 7 innings.
7 innings. Went 7 innings this year. Raisel Iglesias had taken over in the 9th to try to finish off a combined no-hitter. Got 2 outs in, and then Martinez with a home run. Changing up the tempo. Gibson's 0-2. 1-2.
Pick it.
So he got ahead of each of the first 3 hitters in this inning. 0-2, something we hadn't said all day. Trying to finish off a 1-2-3 inning for a second straight frame. Gibson home to Contreras. This is what the Cardinals are missing. Obviously, he's been great at handling a staff that's performed above average, but he's been their best hitter by far. Williams' older brother. An already bereft offense, missing arguably their best hitter so far this season. Not arguably, he was the best hitter.
What's also not told in that is that he absolutely, as we look at the injury, he absolutely went to work in the offseason. And this is so unfortunate, but this is the grading system for catchers and how they're getting judged and how they're getting paid. And so catchers are going to move up. If their statistical categories aren't in line with what is getting them paid, this is the risk, unfortunately, when you get that far to either create the illusion of stealing strikes, which I still think is kind of an overrated stat. But
96 catcher's interferences last year. That was a major league record. We had 33 through May the 7th. More than a third of the way there. Not even a quarter into the season. Down to Ken Rosenthal. He can add.
I talked to William Contreras yesterday about his brother's injury, and I asked him, are you going to move back now? Are you going to try to play it safer? And he said, absolutely not. Here's an interesting thing, too, guys. Keep in mind, if we ever get to the automatic ball strike system, framing will be obsolete.
Interesting points. Payoff pitch. Contreras goes fishing, and down he goes to close out the frame. 5 of the last 6 Brewers have been struck out by Gibson.
Some of the most brilliant minds in business. No, not you. Or you. You auto-track business income and expenses with QuickBooks. And you pay all your employees easily and accurately. And you have a business bank account with market-leading APY. Get the full picture of your business on one platform, now with expert help when you need it. That's how you business differently.
I have the cops.
Oh, that's not hot. That's hot. Yeah, blow on that for a little bit. Not here, not here, not here. So on SeatGeek, what is this deal score?
It grades seats to show whether a deal is amazing, great, good, not so good, bad, or awful based on your budget.
What a coincidence. That's how I classify my relatives.
Oh, really?
The only amazing is my cat, Walter. Let me show you some pictures.
Hey, man. You like Dr. Pepper?
And its unique blend of 23 flavors.
It's everything.
Did you know there's no tea in Skechers?
What you talking about, Romo? Tea is always in Skechers. Tea and these Skechers slip-ins. Tea and these Skechers slip-ins. I pity the fool who isn't in Skechers slip-ins. See, Romo? Tea is always in Skechers.
Spring into savings this moving season with Pods. Save up to 25% now on moving and storage and see why Pods has been trusted with over 6 million moves. But don't wait. Save up to 25% now. Visit pods.com today.
One of the great cities in the Midwest, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, underrated summer city, and we're starting to feel some of the summer weather. As we visit Wisconsin on Baseball Night in America, Adam Amin, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, glad you're with us.
Yes.
Freddie Peralta's 85th pitch of the day starts off the 6th inning. Burleson goes around. 2 runs across in the 5th for St. Louis. Deep drive center field. Burleson connects. Perkins ranging back, and he makes the catch all the way at the warning track. A loud, long out for Burleson.
Well, deepest part of the park, and that's what you want if you're Peralta.
2 pitches to get the first out.
Yep.
Burleson's 0 for 3. Peralta happy that Perkins was able to flag that down. Here's Herrera 1 for 2. Wilson Contreras have been signed to be the catcher of the present. He's done for the next 2 months, seemingly. He had successful surgery on Wednesday. He is not with the team right now. He's expected to be back with them when they return to St. Louis. But obviously recovering from the surgery right now. Herrera with a big cut, 2-1.
So the final point I would like to make, we ran out of time, is I would rather see a catcher not cost you strikes as much as they're trying to steal strikes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
to the gap in left center. This is going to get down for a base hit for Herrera, his second of the day, John.
I think that's more important and relevant than what they're trying to make a big deal about stealing strikes. Because umpires are going to tell you that presentation really shouldn't and doesn't have any impact on them calling a strike. That's what they're going to tell you, because that's not what they're not taught to say, hey, let's look at the glove. But it's the one that they take out of the zone that they kind of botch. That, to me, is the more important one.
See Hobie Milner with a couple of lefties coming up, and Carpenter and Gorman. He's loosening. Carpenter, who doubled and scored one of the 2 fifth-inning runs, takes inside. Again, to your point, these last couple of years, catchers are trying to start further up and glove lower and then pull it up instead of framing it from out of the zone necessarily to in the zone. They're stealing it right near the bottom of the zone, but putting that arm, as we saw earlier this week with Wilson Contreras, in potential harm's way with the swing path of a hitter. Those, to you, what you're saying, not as important as just not botching a pitch that maybe is sweeping or breaking out of the zone low and pulling it down. Maybe it's going to hit the bottom of the zone, and as long as your glove stays steady, you're going to probably get a strike, but you just don't want to move it out of the zone to make it look like a ball. Carpenter swings and misses. Peralta, another strikeout, his 8th. 2 down.
I just think if you've never played the game, you don't understand that your catching is going to be right in line with your pitching. As we take a side view of Carpenter up in the zone, not getting to it. What I mean by that, if you have a pitching staff around the zone, you're going to do pretty good. If you got a wild pitching staff, it doesn't matter what you do with your glove. And if you've got a wild pitching staff, you're probably not going to have a great defense. If you got a guy that throws a lot of strikes, you're probably going to have a pretty good defense.
Gorman sends a breaking ball towards the right field corner. Well struck. That is a fair ball. Into the corner it goes. Herrera all the way around. Play at the plate. He is safe. Cardinals tack on a run. It's 3-1, and Gorman has been aboard all 3 times. He extends the St. Louis lead. So after he snapped that long May skid with the home run yesterday, he's been on all 3 times.
Yeah, big hit here with 2 outs. The only way you're going to be able to score is hit it down in the corner. I thought right there they had a chance. But watch the little short hop and then the one hop to the catcher just in time. Cardinals with a big 2-out run.
Herrera comes in from first on the Gorman RBI double. And now Mason Wynn will take low. Can they add another one? Cardinals are averaging less than 3.5 runs a game. They've got 3 already against Peralta.
Well, with 2 outs, you're going to get a great jump as long as you keep hitting the corners at the right time, and he slides in head first. Which you can do now with no block in the plate.
2-1. Peralta closing in on 100 pitches. Pitching against St. Louis for the 17th time, 13th start in his career. 3-6 with an ERA up over 5 lifetime. He's had a couple of good outings lately these last 2 seasons, but not always getting all the run support he's looking for. But trying to make it a quality start by limiting St. Louis to 3. Hard hit ball slicing towards Perkins, who got a little leap and got the ball to close the inning. But an RBI double from Gorman, who's had a nice series so far. And it's a 3-1 St. Louis lead to the bottom of the 6th.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Looking for the perfect grill? Find yours at Ace, because at Ace, the perfect grill comes with free assembly, delivery, and fuel, like the Weber Gas Grill, Big Green Egg Charcoal Grill, Traeger Wood Pellet Grill, and Blackstone Gas Griddle. You won't find all these premium brands and service at a warehouse store, only at your neighborhood Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed. Buy a new grill at Ace and get free assembly, delivery, and fuel.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Is playoff Jason a thing?
Nah, playoff Jason is not a thing.
Okay, Tatum. We all know it's a thing. Same goes for playoff Spider.
It's not a thing.
Well, Brunson can't deny it.
I mean...
Is that official?
Oh, wait, no.
Oh, I see. You got the whole league in on this.
Not a thing.
Let me guess. Playoff Shane.
It's not a thing.
Are you serious? Everyone's going playoff and saying it's clearly a thing.
It's not a thing.
Well, let's find out.
At Jiffy Lube, we car about cars. In fact, we're kind of obsessed. It's why we've been taking car business with quick quality service for over 40 years.
Are you saying car?
That's right, Claire. And with things like our Carful Vehicle Review, where our experts check, fill, inspect, and clean your vehicle, you'll know we'll car for your car like we car for our own. Some people think it's just an oil change. Who cars? We do. We car.
You mean care?
Exactly. Jiffy Lube. Car more.
This is Roundup Dual Action. This stuff doesn't just kill existing weeds down to the root. It keeps working for up to 4 months, from the first days of spring to the 4th day of July. Roundup Dual Action kills and prevents weeds. Guaranteed. This stuff works.
Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play the great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, playball.org, and X, Facebook, and Instagram at Playball. Part of the Brewer order, it's Willie Adames leading things off against Kyle Gibson. Michael Ciani takes over for Alec Burleson and then moves over to center field, moving Lars Nootbaar to right. So insert Ciani in the 5 spot in the lineup. Adames flips it shallow center, and Ciani won't be able to get to that one. And Willie Adames has his first base hit of the day. And the tying run will come to the plate for Milwaukee in Bowers.
And it's a big inning here for St. Louis because they get really good in their bullpen from the 7th inning on. They got some action just in case Kyle can't get through this inning. But their success is late because they're really top three they go to have been really good for the Cardinals.
You saw the lefty Jojo Romero loosening up. Frelick is due up potentially in this inning. Here's a lefty in Bowers. Got hit with a pitch with the bases loaded in the 3rd. Got Milwaukee on the board before the Cardinals scored twice in the 5th and once in the 6th. Arenado in at 3rd with the grass. Bowers will take a strike. To your point, John, you've been talking about veteran pitching. Kyle Gibson, right? 54% of his pitches have been strikes through the first 5 innings. That's a low number for Kyle Gibson, the lowest since last summer. But he's worked himself out of tough spots, and he's been getting a few more strikes these last couple of innings.
Well, he's made great pitches behind in the count. I'm talking 2-0, 3-1, getting back into the and making pitches you have to make by changing the direction of a two-seamer, a cutter, breaking ball, changeup. He does enough. And right now he's going to have to make one of those really good pitches against a guy who's got a big swing. All right, you don't have to land this pitch for a strike, but make it look like a strike. If you know the hitter's aggressive, you'll get a swing and a miss.
Three-1 to Bowers. Close pitch. He lays off a breaking ball low. The first 2 have reached for Milwaukee in the 6th. Down to Ken Rosenthal for more on Gibson.
Well, guys, when Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson signed on back-to-back days with the Cardinals in November, it was no accident. Both are Indiana natives. They were teammates with the Twins in 2018, the Rangers in 2020, and they become good friends. The day Lynn agreed with the Cardinals, he texted Gibson and said, "Hey, let's go play in St. Louis." Gibson wasn't so sure. He hadn't heard from the Cardinals in a few days, and he thought maybe they chose Lynn over him. Of course, it turned out the team wanted both.
I'm just a little disappointed in Lance Lynn not texting, "Hey, meet me in St. Louis." That's just, it's right there for you the whole time. Yeah. Look at what Gibson's done, playing in a tough National League East with all the power, and the same thing in the American League East last year. Playing in a little bit of a lower power division so far this season. Here is Hoskins with 2 on, nobody out. And therefore a strike. A little bit of bookkeeping here. So indeed, as we initially thought, that Mason Wynn bunt, that was a sacrifice and an error against Peralta, that's been changed to a bunt single. No error against Peralta, no sacrifice. It's now a hit for Wynn, who's got 2 today. Just to keep you up to date, that was changed, rightfully so. That was a really tough play for Peralta. It was a really good bunt by Wynn.
Yeah, it was one of those in between. He thought he was going to go after it and catch it in the air, and then stumbled and almost made the play.
Hoskins. That's a strike. And a 2. Gibson approaching 100 pitches as well. They're trying to do what he's done all season. Go 6 innings. And more often than not, give up 3 or fewer runs.
He's been so good away to Hoskins. Again, inside as a whole, but can you go in there with 2 strikes later in the game? He did.
He's got a piece of Hoskins, 2-2.
And that's trusting that 2-seamer is going to get in, because what you don't want to do is get beat over the middle third of the plate. When the information tells you the hitter has a hole in there earlier in the game, you got a better chance to get away with it. Later, you better be spot on.
Sliding stop by Herrera, and the count runs full.
And the reason that was such a big pitch, because now he tried to expand in and then expand away, and he didn't make that pitch look competitive at all. Neutral count, but somewhat aggressive hitter at the plate.
Payoff pitch. Hoskins fouls it back.
See, the reason a hitter like Hoskins can't sell out for the pitch away is he's got to be leery of you gone in. And once you go in a hitter's mind, knowing the pitcher could go back in there, selling out to a pitch away leaves you vulnerable to that pitch in, especially if it's caught catching the plate. You'll be caught looking.
And I would imagine if anybody knows that, it's got to be Hoskins, who knows Gibson well from their stint together in 2022 in Philadelphia. That was a half a season. Down the left field line, pulled, foul.
And there again now, 3-2, went in. You saw the reaction. He pulls it way foul. Now you can try to go back with that cutter on the outside part of the plate. Nothing really the same. He gives you something different every pitch.
Another payoff, and Hoskins fights it off. A breaking ball and a good spoil by Hoskins there.
And that's how you can get away with not having 98 and all these different stuff. You see how he went in, and he pulls that. You see how the hip goes left because that first pitch was in, and he's.
You saw that look on his face looking at his old teammate. 9th pitch between the former Phillies. And it's upstairs. Hoskins wins the battle to load the bases. And that's going to be it. For Kyle Gibson, who's going to leave in line for the win. But with nobody out in the 6th, he's responsible for all 3 men on base. Just 39% of the batters he faced saw a first pitch strike. That's his lowest total in 4 years. He leaves with the lead, but it's tenuous right now at the bottom of the 6th.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
I just wanted to remind you that Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. In fact, it's so easy. It reminds me of a joke my mate told me. Now, a knuckleballer and a catcher walk into a bullpen, and a knuckleballer turns to the catcher. Get it? Wow, they really like that one.
It's easy to Geico, official partner of Major League Baseball.
Of course it stops loading at the best part.
I wasn't eavesdropping. Yes, I was. You need Verizon. Get their crazy powerful network out here and get 6 months of Disney Bundle on them. And it is all good.
That's right. Stream on the go with 6 months of Disney Bundle on us. All your favorite content from Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus is all yours. And watch it all on the new Galaxy S24 Plus, also on us. Only on Verizon.
This is Roundup Dual Action. This stuff doesn't just kill existing weeds down to the root. It keeps working for up to 4 months, from the first days of spring to the 4th day of July. From summer beach days to pumpkin spice lattes. From sweltering days to sweater weather days. Roundup Dual Action kills existing weeds and keeps on working for up to 4 months. That's 120 days of days. Guaranteed or your money back. Roundup Dual Action. This stuff works.
Right now, you can get a free footlong at Subway. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Just scan the QR code and enter promo code FLBOGO. It only works on the other side of the screen, buddy.
You still got a landline in your house.
Order now on the Subway app.
Tomorrow, the best of the best compete for the crown as the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show presented by Purina Pro Plan begins with the Masters Agility Championship tomorrow at 2 Eastern, only on Fox. Kyle Gibson is done. He loaded the bases to start the 6th. Jojo Romero, the left-hander, is in. Jackson Chourio, the touted prospect, at the plate. And the first pitch is high. Ball 1 from Romero.
Can I just say that's the worst feeling in the world for a starting pitcher, to leave those 3 runners on base. You're trusting your guys to get you out of a jam of maybe only 1 run could score. Tough scenario here.
Chourio with a big cut, and it's 1-1.
For Romero, though, facing this youngster, he has struggled with making contact, and he has struggled early on against left-handed pitchers.
Off the fist and fouled back by Chourio. Big opportunity for a kid who just turned 20 years old. And in March, the highest-ranked Milwaukee prospect has him loaded with nobody out.
Even though the bases are loaded, those last 2 swings would tell me I do not have to throw him a strike here. He's got a bigger swing.
He didn't throw a strike, and Chourio laid off.
And a great pitch. Really good pitch, but the fastball above the zone might be an enticing pitch right here, but here's that breaking ball trying to get the back foot swing over the top. Didn't get it. But still a good pitch.
Inside, and the count runs full. Romero has been one of the best out of the pen for St. Louis this year. 18 strikeouts to just 2 walks and a 1.5 ERA. Sanchez on deck. A 3-2 to Chourio coming. He stays alive. He's the #2 prospect in all of baseball. The #1 prospect made his major league debut today in Paul Skeens for Pittsburgh. Holiday still at AAA. Same thing with Caminero. Breaking ball, drops it in for called strike 3. What a big pitch by Romero for the first out.
That is a great pitch. We've seen some clutch pitching so far with the high stress of pitching with the bases loaded. And for whatever reason, we've had some teams struggle with the bases loaded, nobody out. And Kyle Gibson at the mercy of his teammate. Got a big slugger to get through here in Sanchez.
Sanchez will take a strike. 0 for 2 today. This is a guy who, as you talked about, had some prodigious power numbers at times for the Yankees. He's got 5 grand slams in his career. Big cut, and Romero taking advantage of that aggressiveness. 0-2, got him on that changeup there.
That is tremendous, both sides of the plate. Breaking ball in over the top. He swings, changeup away. He swings. Now he's got Sanchez completely in a defensive mode here. And this guy doesn't cut down his swing very often.
0-2 pitch, and that went inside. It got a piece of Sanchez, and that's going to drive in another run. It's the 2nd time that a Brewer has been hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Bowers in the 3rd, Sanchez in the 6th, and it's a 3-2 game. The tying run is at 3rd. On an 0-2 pitch, John.
Listen, I say this a million times in my broadcasting career. I think that's got to be the first time, the first 2 runs. of a game where you're trailing have been scored. I'm trying to come up with a scenario where it'll be the first time ever that 2 runs have scored on hit batsmen, but you know that's not the case.
Probably not.
In the history of the game, it's already happened.
Well, it's a rarity, I'm sure, though. And now another pinch hitter, Oliver Dunn, is out. Here is Joey Ortiz.
Okay, here's the quantification I'm going to make. Is that the good word?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go with it.
The first 2 runs coming on hit batsmen, well, I guess they would have to be with bases loaded. Never mind.
You thought you had something there.
I thought I had something.
Here's Ortiz, who's had a good power week. He's hit a couple of homers this week. He'll take down an inside, and it's 2-0.
There was a strange game in Pittsburgh that's still going on. I believe 6 runs came in via the walk with the bases loaded.
Yes.
We don't have that here.
Thankfully.
But we have 2 runs scored on hit batsmen.
I think you finished strong there, my friend. 2-0 delivery. Ortiz will take a close pitch for a strike on the outer edge.
Ortiz is like the first 2 were nowhere close. You gave him one that was borderline. He was set up in and reaches across.
The 2-1. Good breaking ball by Romero all the way across the plate. Almost a frisbee looking slider to get a called strike. Bowers at third, Hoskins at second, Sanchez at first. Two-two. Popped up. Herrera's got the mask off. Infield fly rule is in effect. And there are 2 away. Big pitches by Romero.
Yeah, very big pitches. I don't know if this is one of those that you, as a hitting coach, will kind of, both teams maybe destroy the video, because there hasn't been the knockout hit really with runners in scoring position for either team. There's been a lot of tough pop-ups.
Perkins fouls one away. To your point, John, St. Louis 2 for 9. They've left 6. Brewers are now 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. That's very rare for them.
And with bases, I mean, with nobody out, like I'm talking, that's where you do damage. Yep. When there's nobody out. I get it. When there's 2 outs, you're not going to have a high rate of success.
Breaking ball, Perkins went around. Boy, that breaking ball has been huge in this frame so far for Romero, and an opportunity to limit the damage to just 1 run here.
You watch Kyle Gibson's reaction in about 30 seconds if it goes his way.
Our great director Matt Gangle and our great camera crew will have a shot of him guaranteed. Here is an 0-2 pitch. Perkins lifts it right center field. Siani and Nootbaar are over. Nootbaar squeezes it, and only 1 across for Milwaukee. Romero gets out of it. Look at Kyle Gibson. Could not be more excited. He's still in line for the win, and the Cardinals are still in front somehow.
TV's #1 new comedy, Krabopolis, all new Sundays on Fox.
Lock in the lowest prices ever at Ashley. Our Memorial Day sale brings you unbeatable discounts with price drop 3 years in the making and special financing for 60 months. Save even more on clearance items store-wide. Only at Ashley.
What if antibodies from sharks cured cancer? What if breast cancer was prevented with a vaccine? What if new science became clinical trials in real time? At UW Health Carbone Cancer Center, we search the depths of the ocean, the edges of space, turning possibilities into life-saving solutions and what-ifs into remarkable realities. UW Health Carbone Cancer Center. Remarkable.
Did we just get hustled? There's no way they were 70. Interesting. It's both an electric and a gas car. Yep. Quite the paradox.
The first ever Lexus RX plug-in hybrid. Electric for short trips, gas for long. It really is both.
Get special offers on select Lexus RX models.
There are giants among us.
They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
Now, during the Memorial Day sale at Ashley, take up to $1,200 off on select Beauty Rest Black adjustable sets. Plus, get up to $300 in free furniture, 60-month 0% interest financing, and free delivery. Going on now at Ashley.
The Fox 6 weather experts, because you matter.
Ramiro limits the damage to 1. Cardinals remain in front. It's our call to the bullpen, sponsored by Intuit QuickBooks. And Hobie Milner has been excellent, especially as of late. Top of the Cardinal order, though, Brendan Donovan, Lars Nootbaar, Paul Goldschmidt. Trying to add on to the lead in the late innings. Milner has not allowed an earned run in his last 11 appearances. A tough angle, that tough delivery, and 2 lefties due up at the top of this order. And again, this is where you run into some problems if you're Ali Marmol. Churio stays into play left, moving Bowers to right. Ortiz swaps with Dunn, the third baseman.
For Milner, he's basically going to throw his fastball, sinker, and breaking balls. He can shape it a bunch of different ways.
He gets Donovan to pop one up into shallow right. Second baseman Turang has it for out number 1, and Kevin Burkhardt's got a game break. What's up, my friend?
Adam, the MLB debut for the top pitching prospect in the game, Paul Skeens, for Pittsburgh today. It's some nasty stuff. Routinely hit 101, went 4+, charged with 3 runs, struck out 7. This game's still going on, long rain delay. Here's one, though, Smoltz, you'll love. You were talking about first in the game. Play-by-play data goes back 50 years. We've never had this. The Pirates bullpen walked 6 in 1 inning. How about that? Inside. Walked 6 in.
Oh, he's just recoiling in fear right now. My gosh. Nootbaar will take one inside. He's had a nice series, and he drove in a pair in the 5th to give St. Louis the lead.
I believe they walked 4 before the rain delay, and then 2
right
after the rain delay.
It goes the other way, does Nootbaar, and he smacks a single into left center. Over to cut it off is Perkins. A 1-out knock, his second hit of the game. Nootbaar's aboard with 1 out. Our player profile is sponsored by Heinz. This is what KB was talking about. Some nasty stuff, but a lot of traffic against Skeens in his major league debut.
Well, I have a theory that many do not subscribe to, but it'd be interesting to see. I mean, he's not a high school pitcher. He pitched college, right?
Yep.
So
very successful
at LSU. He's going to be on an innings limit. And what did he have? 6 starts down in the minor leagues?
Yep. Under 1 ERA.
I know Pirate fans are going, really? I mean, why can't he have those innings up in the big leagues?
Sure.
Those innings still count, by the way.
Yep.
That counts towards your limits that they're putting on you. Yep. So they run it the way they want to run it. And now he's up, and we'll see how he progresses. Pittsburgh off to a fast start that really cooled down quickly.
Yep.
Gone the wrong way lately.
Trying to find some offense, too. And a lot of runs today, but the pitching's not there for those two. Elvis Peguero loosening up behind Milner. 1-2 on Paul Goldschmidt, looking for that first hit since April the 30th. He had a 4-hit day against the Tigers on April 30th, and I'm sure Ali Marmol, I'm sure Paul Goldschmidt, I'm sure that dugout thought, all right, finally, he's out of it. Still trying to bust out of it. 2-2 from Milner to Goldschmidt inside, so from down 0-2, which he's been all day in all 4 at-bats, it's an out full count. They're trying to avoid the golden sombrero today. He will not avoid it. A breaking ball gets him. It's a 4-strikeout day for Goldschmidt, and the struggles continue over his last 32. My goodness.
Well, they talk about his work ethic. They talk about what he means to the club. And I think at some point, the hardest job for a manager is to go to a superstar older player and say, hey, I just need you to chill from batting practice. Hey, I just need you to kick back. Let's just figure it out a different way. He's been out this, I think, at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock this afternoon, working at it. So the desire is there, the want to's there. Sometimes you just got to flip the script and try something different.
And again, we talked with Ali about this a couple of weeks ago. It's hard to do it. He sat him down. He had a scheduled off day earlier this week. Then they got rained out on Wednesday. As Arenado bangs one to third, picked up by Ortiz, throw to Terang, and that'll retire the side. Stretch time in Milwaukee. We've got a tight one. It's 3-2 in favor of St. Louis. Goldie's team still winning.
Hey, look what I found for movie night. Buddy, you just hit the jackpot.
If it's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call?
Disgusting.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Home sweet home.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Buy or rent now.
This is Roundup Dual Action. This stuff doesn't just kill existing weeds down to the root. It keeps working for up to 4 months, from the first days of spring to the 4th day of July. From summer beach days to pumpkin spice lattes. From sweltering days to sweater weather days. Roundup Dual Action kills existing weeds and keeps on working for up to 4 months. That's 120 days of days. Guaranteed or your money back. Roundup Dual Action. This stuff works.
What does it take to define the ideal driving experience? It takes Polestar 2. With fully electric performance, Swedish design and engineering, and up to 320 miles of range. Polestar 2 is designed for drivers. View offers at polestar.com.
Someone needs to customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Wait, there's an elevator? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Sunday on Fox. It's a paw for paw, all-out battle for glory. The Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, sponsored by Purina Pro Plan, begins with the Masters Agility Championship, Sunday at 2 Eastern on Fox.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Buy or rent it now. The playoff meetings between these two teams, 1982 World Series when the Cardinals got the Brewers in 7. And then, of course, the magical run for the Cardinals in 2011. David Freese with some massive hits in the LCS and then in the World Series, of course, in memorable Game 6. Top of the Milwaukee order against JoJo Romero. This might be the only hitter Romero faces in this inning with the lefty Terang, who's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Now you see Andrew Kittredge loosening up for St. Louis. He has been excellent, although he did blow a save last weekend in Chicago. For the most part, outstanding bridging it to Helsley. Terang goes the other way. Donovan over towards the line, and he makes the catch. A versatile and solid defender, a Gold Glover 2 years ago. Donovan with a great play for out number 1.
Well, he was shaded over that way, and it helped getting over to the line, making a play that easily would have been a double. Romero's ankle, that'll be his last batter.
Sure enough, they'll go to Kittredge here with 1 down in the 7th. Romero does his job. He only allowed 1 inherited runner to score in the 6th. Cardinals in front.
In here, you can expect to find crystal clear audio, expansive display space, and more comfort for everyone. But we still left room for all the unexpected things you'll find out here. The new 2024 Grand Cherokee lineup. Jeep, there's only one.
It's Jeep 4x4 season, where right now, get the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee starting at $38,290 MSRP. Visit Jeep.com for details.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
I just wanted to remind you that Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. In fact, it's so easy. It reminds me of a joke my mate told me. Now, A knuckleballer and a catcher walk into a bullpen, and a knuckleballer turns to the catcher. Get it? Wow, they really like that one.
It's easy to Geico, official partner of Major League Baseball.
You got this, buddy. You got it.
During an asthma attack, every second feels like an eternity. Primatene Mist works fast. It's clinically shown to open airways quickly. Get the #1 FDA-approved over-the-counter asthma inhaler, Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again.
Pause for the facts. Classic first-timers. They don't know that nearly half of all used cars have been in an accident. But Carfax shows how accidents impact price, so they don't have to overpay. Unpause.
Ooh, one of no accidents.
Shop the all-new Carfax.com.
Give me that ooey gooey, crispy, crunchy, mouth watering. Give me that creamy, dreamy, meaty topping, pepperoni popping. Give me that crispy, Kobe, only Papa John's. Better get you some. Try the trio before it's gone.
Wayne Pascal, she's gone.
It is Braun. Braun might be the guy, but I gotta build our case.
Alert MPU, season finale Tuesday on Fox.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced.
William Contreras fouls the first Andrew Kittredge offering away. And had a blown save last weekend against the White Sox, but outside of that, Kittredge has been rock solid as a setup man. Rears back and delivers inside, and it's 1-1 on Contreras, who's 1 for 2 with a double and a walk and a strikeout.
Tough to pick up the ball. He's got a closed stance to him, and he throws across his body, which is not good for right-handed hitters. Meaning right-handed hitters don't like it.
Yep.
And he can work both sides of the plate with 2 different actions. Sink it in, break it away like you just saw.
He's got a ton of chase this year with that delivery and offerings. No chase from Contreras that time to even the count.
It was a good view that you got to see. The right-handed hitter doesn't see his arm swing behind his back. It just kind of stays behind him, and then the last minute he's trying to pick up the ball at release. It's very difficult. And when you can repeat the same thing over and over again as a pitcher, that's a good thing.
Cardinals had to give up a young promising hitter in Richie Palacios to bring in a very good reliever in Kittredge. Trade with Tampa. 3-2 on Contreras.
I feel like there's been a lot of 3-2 counts.
Whole lot of them in this game between Gibson and Peralta now into the pens. Payoff pitch. Inside. A 1-out walk to Contreras. The tying run is aboard for Milwaukee. That will bring up Adames. So Jack Svita, our great statistician, is going to look that up, but he gave us a great note for you, Johnny.
Yeah, a lot of people have been tweeting at me trying to figure out that answer. Well, good luck tweeting at me because I don't have a Twitter account or whatever it's called now, X, whatever it's called. I don't have any.
It's not real John Smoltz on X.
Yeah. 9 years ago, it happened where 2 hitters got hit with the bases loaded.
Skied by Adames, short right, Gorman out. He's got it. 1 pitch to retire. A power hitting shortstop for the 2nd out of the 7th, and now Bowers will come to the plate. Cardinals scored, or beg your pardon, the Brewers scored the game's first run in the 3rd when Bowers got hit with the bases loaded. A good-looking fastball for a strike. It was the last time a team's first 2 runs were scored via hit by pitch. May of 2015, White Sox Twins.
Must be a May thing.
Brian Hudson loosens up. He's been great for Milwaukee. Flare towards left center. That's down over the head of Wynn for a base hit. Trying to go first to third is Contreras. The throw is late. Good base running by William Contreras with 2 outs. He was on the move. And the tying run is at 3rd for Milwaukee. How about Jake Bowers continuing to hit well with that adjustment at the plate?
A little toe tap and just outside the reach of shortstop. Hit soft enough for 2 outs. A little bit of a risk here. Put it into gear and never want to make the 3rd out at 3rd base. Now you put a little pressure on the catcher-pitcher combination. Not that Kittredge throws a lot of wild pitches. It's just part of the game now that they got to think about.
Here is Hoskins. That's a good-looking slider. Starts in, comes back over the plate for a strike.
And with Arenado playing way back in the outfield, Contreras can get a huge jump on anything that does bounce or remotely gets away from the catcher.
Big secondary lead. It's fouled off to the right by Hoskins, and it's 0-2. Kittredge trying to keep this game where it's at. Brewers top 5 in baseball in hitting with runners in scoring position. They started the day 294, 100 points better than the Cardinals. They are the ones that don't have a hit in this spot today. Runner from first and Bowers takes off, and it's outside for a ball. Bowers in a scoring position as well, and he's the go-ahead run. It's been a problem for St. Louis all year, giving up the stolen base a whole lot. 2-2 the count. With Herrera behind the plate, opponents are 21 for 21 stealing this year. Pa has just made his first major league start behind the plate Thursday. Contreras was 3 for 9 throwing runners out.
I would think they got to go inside here on this 2-2 pitch.
Kittredge to Hoskins. They set up inside, and it's inside too far.
Looking to lock him up, and now they can go back out with the slider if they want, or with the base open, certainly repeat that pitch inside.
Three and two outs, 7th inning, and a 1-run game. Kittredge home, Hoskins in the air, center field, ranging back Ciani, back to the wall, he leaps, it's gone! A go-ahead home run from Rhys Hoskins, Milwaukee leads.
This is so close to being robbed. At least live, it looked like it might have gone off his glove and just tips the glove. What an effort. Yeah, just outside. What a moment for the Brewers, and unfortunately for the Cardinals. A narrative they want to change. He went down and got that pitch.
And sent it a long way considering the location of that pitch. Their best home run hitter delivers. Hoskins with his 9th of the year to put Milwaukee on top 5-3 in the 7th. Big cut from Chourio in his second at bat of the night. Tough week now for Kittredge in some of these late game spots. He's been so good the first 30 games or so. Trying to finish off this inning. Bouncing ball to short for Mason Wynn. He'll retire Chourio, but not before Rhys Hoskins comes up with a big one. A 3-run blast with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Just over the glove of Ciani. And Milwaukee, one of the best home run hitting teams in baseball. Their first hit with runners in scoring position for the lead.
With wet AMD, I worry I'm not only losing my sight, but my time to enjoy it. But now, I can open up my world with Vabysmo. Vabysmo is the first FDA-approved treatment for people with wet AMD that improves vision and delivers a chance for up to 4 months between treatments, so I can do more of what I love.
Vabysmo works differently. It's the only treatment designed to block 2 causes of wet AMD.
Vabysmo is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection, active eye swelling, or are allergic to it. Treatments like Vabysmo can cause an eye infection or retinal detachment. Vabysmo may cause a temporary increase in eye pressure after receiving the injection. There is an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke associated with blood clots. Severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye can occur. Most common eye side effects were cataract and broken blood vessels.
Open up your world with Vabysmo.
A chance for up to 4 months between treatments with Vabysmo. Ask your doctor.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
I just wanted to remind you that Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. In fact, it's so easy. It reminds me of a joke my mate told me. Now, a knuckleballer and a catcher walk into a bullpen, and a knuckleballer turns to the catcher. Get it? Wow, they really like that one.
It's easy to Geico, official partner of Major League Baseball.
Thank you. Thank you for making us warm in the morning and cold overnight. Thank you for serving us for pregame fun and postgame memories. And thank you for trusting us with secret recipes and shared moments. Thank you for bringing us into your homes and into your hearts for nearly 150 years. Thank you for making Quaker a part of your family.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering magic. The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Brian Hudson, who's been outstanding for Milwaukee with a sub-1 ERA, is in for the 8th with the lead. Dylan Carlson, a switch hitter. So really outside of the backup catcher, the only bat that can hit right-handed for St. Louis late in the game with this thin bench. The problem that Ali Marmol was running into earlier. Ciani is out, so now Carlson is in, so he'll take over in center field. And he comes to the plate 0 for 14 on the season, playing in just his 6th game after missing the first 5 weeks.
Got a little delay there, so 1-1 now.
Pitch clock violation on the pitcher, so 1-1 as you mentioned.
Hudson's going to attack right-handers with a fastball, and he's going to have that curveball and cutter.
Carlson breaks his bat, rolls it to third. A tough bounce for Ortiz, but a retired Carlson. Kevin Burkhardt's got a game break for us. What's up, KB?
Adam, thanks. Looking at the Dodgers-Padres. San Diego won a walk-off last night, so the Dodgers trying to pay him back. This will help. Freddie Freeman taking one down the line. Packed house at Petco tonight. Dodgers 1-0 lead. Hold on to that with James Paxton on the mound right now in the 4th. Adam, John.
Not only a walk-off for San Diego, it came from their new addition, Luis Arraez, yesterday. There's the great numbers for Hudson this year. There's Herrera. Strike one. Couple of base hits and a run scored in the 6th for Herrera. Hudson misses inside. Big leg kick, and Herrera fouls it away.
A bit reminder of the big left-hander Dan Plesac that used to pitch here in Milwaukee.
Like Kyle Gibson, an Indiana guy. Nasty breaking ball right across the plate. Herrera strikes out. And there are 2 down. UFL action continues next weekend on Fox into Week 9 as the push for the playoffs is underway. Memphis will take on Michigan. And then next Sunday, the Arlington Renegades battle San Antonio on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Wow, we're already Week 9?
Week 9 coming up next week in the late stages of the season. Here's Carpenter in his first game after missing 30+. Got a hit. Double, a run scored in that 2-run 5th. The Brewers are without Yoel Payamps, who had taken over for the injured Devin Williams. So we'll see who ends up tossing the 9th. They've been leaning on a couple of different guys all year. through the right side of base hit. Matt Carpenter in his return. The guy who's got a lifetime 818 OPS. Major league average through about quarter of the way of the season this year is under 700. So automatically, based on track record, you hope that's a boost if you're a St. Louis fan.
Yeah, and again, you signed him not to play a lot, but to impact off the bench when needed. And these are numbers that you don't want really being shown.
Not a lot of comeback victories this year for St. Louis. They're trying to do something that they haven't often done. After giving up the lead in the bottom of the 7th on that Hoskins blast. Gorman's had a good day. He's been on base all 3 times.
Well, the arm action of Hudson makes it really difficult. And the way the ball comes out of his hand, you imagine left-handers can't feel good. Now the veteran Carpenter got a hit.
The breaking ball 1-2.
He's got that unorthodox leg kick, gets way down the mound, lower 3/4 arm angle. Lefty just cannot feel comfortable. He's off the first base side of the rubber, even making it more difficult on the left-handed hitter.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed on a fastball. Hudson leaves a man stranded. To the bottom of the 8th we go. 5-3 Milwaukee.
Phone call from the boss? Sorry. Outdoor time. It's me time.
I hear that. That's why we protect all your vehicles here. But hey, nothing wrong with sticking it to the boss.
Oh, Flo, you're gonna take that? Why would that concern me? Because you're aren't you the...
Huh. We never actually discussed hierarchy.
Okay, why don't we just stick to letting Dave know how much he can save when he bundles his home or auto with his boat or RV?
Wait, I thought Jamie was the boss.
It's funny because I'm not boss material.
Jersey Mike's freshly slices it right in front of you. You can't fake that. You can fake my outfit. You can fake these haunches. You just can't fake a freshly sliced Jersey sub. Made the authentic Jersey way since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
To give your teeth a dentist clean feeling, start with a round brush head, add power, and you've got Oral-B. Round cleans better by surrounding each tooth to remove 100% more plaque for a superior clean. Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
If I buy tickets to a game for me and my girlfriend, but then we break up, do you have an innovation to make us get back together?
No, we can't bring your girlfriend back, but you can sell the ticket on SeatGeek and maybe get your money back.
That's a shame. I mean, the relationship had run its course. You know, we were just kind of moving in different directions. We wanted to... Well, we did. We wanted different things. We wanted different things.
My schedule's pretty jam-packed these days. I've got 2 free birthday parties on Saturday, and Sunday, that's my me time.
How's that look?
Works for me.
Works for me.
The number 13 original Italian, sliced right in front of you, topped off with the juice.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Say what?
No, really.
Get this man a number 13 Italian, stat.
Thank you. The number 13 original Italian, only at Jersey Mike's.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Italian Sausage, a Saturday champion in the sausage race here at Miller Park, or at American Family Field, beg your pardon. So used to saying Miller Park. We had a chance to enjoy the Rock Flight and the Bavarian pretzels from our good friend Chef Lauren Rue, who does amazing work.
You know what's amazing is I said 2 days ago I was going to not eat bread.
Yeah, that went out the window fast. That went out fast, pal. Sanchez waves and misses against Ryan Fernandez to start the bottom of the 8th.
I got a little interesting fact.
What do you got for me, pal?
Do you know that Ryan Fernandez,
who's dealing in 0-1 here, 0-2,
is the lowest alphabet last name in their pen? He's first, meaning F.
There's no A's through E's,
no.
last name-wise.
Can you believe that? Not on the current roster.
And even if they had some of their normal relievers, he would still be the first name alphabetically. Because they're without Giovanni Gallegos, they're without Keenan Middleton, they're without Drew Rom. All those guys are banged up right now. None of those have an A or an A, so Fernandez right at the top.
I'm here for you,
buddy. You can't see in the booth. John's real proud of himself right now, and rightfully so. Sanchez will take a breaking ball, 2-2. Dylan Carlson, as expected, stays into play center field. Sanchez, 3-2. So from 0-2, it's a full count.
Man, I really thought I had something with that hit.
Sanchez goes down swinging. Be part of the action like never before and cast your vote for the MLB player of the game. In John's eyes, it might be Gary Sanchez for getting hit by the pitch with the bases loaded. Probably Hoskins right now with the big home run. Voting opens after the 6th. MLB.com/POTG. Terms and conditions apply. Little roller from Joey Ortiz, foul.
The worst part is I got about 3/4 of the way of my excitement thinking I had something, then I realized, oh,
you
wait.
tailed off fast, man.
The only way you could score a run with a hit batsman is with the bases loaded.
Oh, man. Oh, we've had a fun time. It's been a great ball game. A lot of entertainment. Adam Amin, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, the wonderful women and men of our Fox Sports crew here in Milwaukee. Just around the quarter point of the season, right around 40 games or so. Milwaukee in first, St. Louis in last in the Central. Hard hit ball, one hop past Wynn. Ortiz smoked that one. A tough play for Wynn. Turn around first, but he'll stay with a single.
I'm guessing 107.
Looked like it.
It's not going to be 107. 106.6.
You were right there.
I know, but I want to get right on.
You want to get it right on? I see you. I see you. I like that you have those standards for yourself. That's good. I appreciate that. I respect that. There's Blake Perkins. The toss over and back in safely is Ortiz, who has stolen a bag in 2 tries. It is a base hit as expected for Ortiz. There's a strike to Perkins. Walk, a strikeout, a fly out today for the guy who's been the main center fielder this season for Milwaukee, especially the last month. Post pitch, it's a ball. In the top of the 9th, St. Louis trying to do something they haven't done a whole lot and make a comeback. It'll be Wynn to lead it off in the 9th spot, then to the top in Donovan and Nootbaar, and if anybody gets on, perhaps Paul Goldschmidt. Yeah. Perkins went around.
You know he wants that opportunity,
he
but
100% wants
you
it.
also know he doesn't want to go. What is
0 for 4 with 4 Ks.
What is that called? 0 for 5.
The platinum sombrero. If he strikes out, it'd be the platinum sombrero.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
When we were terrible with the Braves, we had our team party showing all of the worst things that we did.
Jeez.
And there were some platinums, believe me. There was there was a lot of stuff. We got told we couldn't do that anymore. We turned it around, didn't have to go down that road anymore. We lost 100 games a few times, and there wasn't much highlights.
Yeah. Already a couple of disengagements to check on Ortiz. So he takes off. Bouncing ball right side. It keeps him out of the double play. Goldschmidt will tag at the bag to get Perkins. On to second base goes Ortiz, and back to the top for Terrain. Sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd. And Trevor McGill is loosening up for a save opportunity. Down the left field line, slicing out of play foul from Terrain. one of the best hitters in these spots. But the Brewers today, 1 for 8. The one hit was the big one, the Hoskins homer, with runners in scoring position. A 2-1.
Well, the Pirates did come back and win that game 10-9.
High scoring affair. A lot of traffic in that game. To the right side, the second baseman Gorman with a nice play. He settles, throws in time to keep this game at 5-3. Excellent play by Gorman to close the inning. That was a key one. Otherwise, we may have had some fireworks at home with Ortiz coming. Instead, Gorman sends us to the ninth. The Cardinals are down 2. McGill's coming in for the save.
I was born with wings, but psoriasis swooped in to clip them. It crushed my confidence.
But no longer will psoriasis get a piece of me.
I can love my skin again with Bimzelx.
Only Bimzelx targets and blocks IL-17A plus F to calm inflammation.
I can control my plaques and start getting myself back.
Bimzelx helps adults with moderate to severe psoriasis control plaques to deliver clearer skin fast for results that last.
I will give myself back the freedom of shorts. Dare to wear black again, from head to toe. Most people got 100% clear skin.
Some after the first dose.
Serious side effects, including suicidal thoughts and behavior, infections, and lowered ability to fight them, liver problems, and inflammatory bowel disease have occurred. Tell your doctor if these happen or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to.
Start to get yourself back with Bimzelx.
Ask your dermatologist about Bimzelx today.
This is Roundup Dual Action. This stuff doesn't just kill existing weeds down to the root. It keeps working for up to 4 months, from the first days of spring to the 4th day of July. From summer beach days to pumpkin spice lattes. From sweltering days to sweater weather days. Roundup Dual Action kills existing weeds and keeps on working for up to 4 months. That's 120 days of days. Guaranteed or your money back. Roundup Dual Action. This stuff works.
If your work is fast-paced and you need to be safe, hands-free Skechers Work Slip-ins are the perfect footwear. Because Skechers Work Slip-ins have an invisible built-in shoehorn so your foot slides into place without touching your shoes. Plus, they have safety features like slip-resistant function and more. Skechers Work Slip-ins.
When you prefer a dream vacation over a rental nightmare, it matters where you stay. Embassy Suites by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
Right now, you can get a free footlong at Subway. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Just scan the QR code and enter promo code FLBOGO. It only works from the other side of the screen, buddy.
You still got a landline in your house.
Order now on the Subway app.
Rickwood Field, the oldest professional ballpark in the country and former home of the Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro Leagues, will be the site of a very special regular season game. Cardinals and Giants coming up on June the 20th, 6 Eastern on Fox. John, you and Ken will be there with our buddy Joe Davis. Very much looking forward to a special day on a Thursday night.
Yeah, sure am. Just a little bit of a 2-hour drive for me down the road.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to that.
So Trevor McGill is 3 for 3 so far in save chances. He's got the second most saves on the Brewers this year. A 2-run lead, 9-1-2 for the Cardinals. And Mason Wynn goes after the first one. Bowers is over. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 9th inning. No Devin Williams. He's been out with the back injury. Yoel Payamps is on the bereavement list. It has been 6 relievers combining for the 13 Milwaukee saves this year. As mentioned, 3 by McGill.
Yeah, against left-handed hitters, it's going to be heavy fastball, 78%. And he'll throw a little bit of a slider, and a curveball is the second best pitch against left-handed batters.
So it's a fastball to Donovan, who's 0 for 4 today. back 1-1.
Well, we did receive the 3-2 full count. Brewers hitters, 13 of them this game, tied for the most of any team this season. That's a lot of them.
Popped up. Third base side. Ortiz has it, and there are 2 down. And that'll bring up Nootbaar with Goldschmidt on deck as the tying run.
Like when a guy comes in and says, go ahead and get on base till the tying run gets to the plate. I'm going to pump some heaters right at you. Until that pitch. That was dirty.
Knuckle curve, 89, strike 1. Strike 2. Two. Fouled away by Nootbaar. McGill, the older brother of Tyler McGill, who's been injured this season for the Mets, but looked great in a rehab stint a few days ago. Going to come back and rejoin a Mets team that could use some pitching. 0-2 on Nootbaar. Fouled away again. Good layoff by Nootbaar. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Nootbaar scoots back. It's 2-2.
The only way that pitch is going to get Nootbaar is it's got to be out over the plate a little more because he's got to protect against 100 miles an hour. And it starts in and just recognizes to the hitter like, okay, I'm going to have to swing at that.
2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball left side. Could be a tough play for the shortstop. Adames not in time. It's beaten out by Nootbaar. And what do you know? The script writers had it ready here in the 9th inning. It'll be Goldschmidt, the tying run, coming to the plate with 2 down. Third hit for Nootbaar.
Well, if you're Goldschmidt, maybe this is the time you sell out on a fastball first pitch and you just say to heck with it. And if he throws you that knuckle curveball, well, nothing you can do about it. But you know he's looking to hit a fastball and try to tie the game up.
Goldschmidt takes outside. He's 0 for his last 32. He has never struck out 5 times in a game. In fact, it's the first time he has struck out 4 times in a game in a year and a half. 1-0. Taken all the way to strike.
A little surprised he's standing at first base. Letting you get to second.
Goldschmidt lines it the other way, a base hit. He finally breaks out of the slump, and the tying run is on base for St. Louis. His first hit in the month of May. And he is aboard with 2 down in the 9th inning for Arenado.
Well, you know he wanted to tie it up, but the next best thing is to get on base. And he hasn't touched base via a hit in a long time. And now his passing the baton on to Nolan Arenado to keep this inning alive. The reason I'm saying I can't believe he's still at first base, I mean, you never want, I mean, if they're giving you second, you don't want the force play to be
There's an extra
second.
easy out at second is what you were thinking there. Instead, now first and second, 2 down. Look at the smile. You don't think that's a relief for Paul Goldschmidt right there as he talks with Stubby Clapp? My goodness.
No matter how long you've been in the game, no matter how much success you've had, when you get into this kind of funk, you're glad. you're not having to answer questions about something continuing. You didn't want it to continue.
So Goldschmidt extends the game. Arenado is the go-ahead run at the plate. Nootbaar at second, Goldschmidt at first, the tying run. Arenado is just 1 for 11 in the series. And he'll take that knuckle curve outside. Inside, 2-0. Brewers fans getting a little restless now. Upstairs, it's 3-0.
$1 million question.
Green
light 3-0. I say yes.
Okay. Why not, right? A 3-0. He will take all the way. I understand your line of thinking. What has gone right as of late offensively for a team that's lost 6 straight? Why not let one of your best hitters go at it? But he took all the way.
Yeah, that would have been one top of the zone he wouldn't want. But
3-1 to Arenado. Hit hard, left field. Churio is there, and the Brewers hold on with a pump of the fist from McGill for the save. Hoskins, the big blow, the 3-run shot to give him the lead in the 7th, and the Brewers officially have the longest win streak all time in the series between St. Louis and Milwaukee. It's now 8 straight over the Cardinals. And the Brewers have taken the first 3 of this series. They take this one in comeback fashion, 5-3.
This was a crazy game. It was a good game. It had a lot of different twists and a lot of different moments that could have been broken open. But the hit and the moment belongs to the first baseman from the Brewers.
Rhys Hoskins with his team-leading 9th of the year. Just over the glove of Michael Ciani in center in the 7th, which put Milwaukee in front. McGill comes on for his 4th save, his 2nd of the week. Milner's first win of the year. Kittredge gave up the long ball. He takes the loss. For John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, the wonderful women and men of our crew, our statistician Jack Spida, Adam Amin sings So Long from Milwaukee. Kevin Burkhardt and the D-Train, Dontrell Willis, are waiting on the other side with the post-game show. They'll wrap up a wild day in baseball. So long from Milwaukee, everybody. Have a great night.
Is this how you dance on the razor's edge? How you beat the heat? Will this gladiator be the last one standing? Last question. Are you not entertained?
Nebraska is kind of like that odd kid. Didn't say much in school. Slightly peculiar, maybe. But when you took the time to get to know him, turned out he was pretty interesting. Not everyone will take the time. Just you, maybe. Yeah, probably you. So visit Nebraska.com.
To everyone who enjoys a feel-good meal, we're crafting one for you, Wisconsin style.
We're talking handcrafted, cooked to order,
scoop to perfection goodness.
More like greatness.
A snuggle up in the booth, share a bite kind of meal.
A fill you up, heart and soul kind of meal.
Come treat someone you love to a meal they're sure to love.
One always served with a smile.
That comes from the heart.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious!
Mom. She's one of a kind. And there's no one quite like her. During Steinhoffel's Mother's Day event, we'd like to treat Mom to a little me time with some new furniture and a $100 Spa Finder gift card. Use our 18-month 0% interest financing to make her new room more affordable. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Mom, it's a small word for a big job. Happy Mother's Day.
We are live from 4:30 to 10. That makes us your morning show.
It just gives us a whole range of things that we can do that other stations can't.
We know the viewer at 4:30 is going to be different than the viewer at 9 o'clock.
Within baseball, we are part of one team.
We are part of one team.
We are part of one team.
As we focus on mental health and wellness. We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
So let's be kind to each other and ourselves.
It's okay to ask for help.
It's okay to ask for help.
It's okay to ask for help.
That ball drilled. Forget about it! He's going home! The throw! He's still home! Warning track right at the front. He made the catch! Oh, wow!
That one is long gone. See ya!
The throw to the plate dives and he's saved!
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
This summer,
14 top food entrepreneurs are fighting for a $250,000 prize.
Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars is back.
Buckle up, big boy.
And this time it's Team Ramsay.
They need to be on their game.
Versus Team Vanderpump.
We want to see that you can take your business to the next level.
I am Vanderpumped up.
I'm the founder of Hot Drops.
Square eats. You are Team Vanderpump. Don't.
I'd also like you on Team Ramsay.
Oh my gosh.
Food Stars premieres Wednesday, May 22nd on Fox.
There are certain eras in American history that define us. As this country moved west, a new age began to take shape. One where fortunes were made, rules were broken, and legends, they were born. This is Outlaws and Lawmen, now streaming on Fox Nation.
I just don't get why Maggie bothers you so much.
We can't move forward if you're being held back.
More tequila, please. Maggie has always been there for me. I love you.
It's the Baseball Night in America post-game show, and we say welcome. Dontrell Willis is here, the D-Train, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And the Brewers keep on winning, and the Cardinals keep on losing. Brew Crew, a little dramatic victory tonight. And if I go back to our pregame show, which was a long time ago right now, you said Rhys Hoskins not only has brought production, but an attitude to the Brew Crew. Kind of saw it tonight, didn't we?
Absolutely, and his edge, and he's finally healthy. You could tell he's playing free and easy. 12 RBIs over his last 15 ball games. Now, you balance that out with Freddie Peralta, another solid start by the young man with 8 Ks in 6 innings. But you have offensive production in the teeth of the lineup, not only with Contreras and Peralta as well. You have to be able to score runs at a high premium. And so he comes up with a lot of clutch hits. I love seeing him. And again, just like his manager, Pat Murphy, they play with a little edge. And so I think he fits right into that clubhouse.
However, as a pitcher, if you give him a home run on that pitch, you would have been salty.
I'm salty all the time, so I'm definitely going to be salty if I give him it. That's a good pitch, but sometimes you have to tip your hat to the hitters because they drive nice cars, too.
I never saw you tip your hat to the hitter. Rhys Hoskins been great. Home run number 9 today. He's with our Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Kevin. Rhys, 2 out, go ahead, 3-run homer in the 7th. You got down 0-2. You battled back to 3-2 against Kittredge, a very good reliever. What was your thinking during that at-bat?
Yeah, Kittredge has got good stuff. He's pitching late in games for a reason.
Look at everybody, man.
Yeah, that's still cold, but it's still good. Yeah, I was just looking for something in the middle of the plate. He got ahead quick. Still nothing showed up really in the middle until the 3-2 pitch, and I just got some good barrel to it.
Even that pitch, it was down. When you hit it, did you think it was going out?
I didn't. I also didn't really like the way the center fielder was tracking the ball. Know he's a really good athlete out there. Seen some crazy catches that he's made, but got over the fence plenty.
You missed all of last season. This was your 9th home run today. Rhys, how satisfying is it simply to be contributing the way you are?
Yeah, really just to be back out here, you know. There's perspective all over the place every time I get to the yard. Just excited to be out here. We had a great night here at the park in front of a lot of crazy fans. And that just makes it more fun.
Reese, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Ken.
Kevin, back to you.
All right, Kenny Reese, thanks so much. Brewers get a win. Elsewhere, the Major League debut with Paul Skeens, the top pitching prospect in the game. Family and friends there for the Pirates. D-Train, what did you think about his 102-mile-an-hour fastball?
I think it's outstanding. He's going to get a ton of swing and miss for that. That's the easiest one-on-one I've seen.
Yeah, he was dealing today. Got in a little bit of trouble, a little wild at times, but here, closing out his outing, really striking out Yan Gomes, went 4+ charged with 3 runs in a wild game with a rain delay. Pirates came out on top. Mets and the Braves, Max Fried was simply outstanding. No hitter through 7 for him. He was pulled there because of pitch count, 5 Ks, was basically untouchable. In the 9th inning, Mets trying for a combined no-hitter, or the Braves are, I should say. They're 1 out away, and J.D. Martinez ruins it.
Yeah, he had to spoil that. That's vintage J.D. right there, letting that baseball travel deep and get him an Oppo taco.
But the Braves still get the win, 4-1. See, Acuña's like, man, we were so close. Dodgers were walked off by the Padres last night trying to get a little revenge tonight. Freddie Freeman says, take that.
Yeah, he's been a little quiet at the power department, but saw that little knuckleball and stayed through it and hit it out.
Team still won 1-0 in the 6th inning. Hey, tomorrow, the best of the best competing for the crown as the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show presented by Purina Pro Plan begins with the Masters Agility Championship. That's a 2 o'clock Eastern start only on Fox. That'll do it for baseball tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend, everyone.